Stand up, New York Giant fans. I am charging a laptop, and it looked as if it was going to work tonight. I hope it does. I'm going to be charging that, and hopefully it's good to go. It was like 100%, and then right as I was getting ready to go live, of course, it started acting up again. So I'm hoping that it's good to go. If not, I'll talk to you guys on the phone. The chat may be a little bit behind. It's not as good as the chat that I see on YouTube on my phone, which I can't look at right now because I'm streaming from my phone. So thank you to everybody that is here. What's going on, Word? What's going on, Drip? What's going on, Roman? What's going on, Jason? What's going on, Big Play Slay? I am going to have to get actually, I think my charger is down here. So in case I need it, I will bring it in. I don't know if I'm going to be able to bring in people through the stream. We'll have to wait and see. Either way, let me get rid of this because we're getting an echo there. I wanted to talk about the game tomorrow. We got a big game coming up tomorrow. Sorry for the background, guys. And like I said, the laptop is charging, and if it does work, I'll pop on there momentarily. I'm going to restart the computer now, but I didn't want to be too late because I know that you guys get upset when I'm late, and I don't like to be late. What's going on there? What's going on, Nick Tate? What's going on, Baruch, man? Thanks for popping in the stream. What's going on, Jawad? Thank you for being here. Henry Vlogs is in the chat. I hope what's going on? Mets? What about the Mets? What about the Mets? We got a new owner. That's nice. We got a new owner. Hopefully, huge. Oh, God. Formula Fitness, man. Let me pull him up. Love Formula Fitness. He says, how huge is this game, Chris? Formula. Great subscriber of mine. Been with me for a while. Always shows me a lot of support in my Discord. This is a gigantic game tomorrow night for the New York Giants. I think it's the biggest game since I've been on YouTube, and that's not saying much. The New York Giants have been absolutely dreadful, since I've been covering this football team on YouTube. But tomorrow night is a gigantic game for the New York Giants. There's no doubt about it. And it's not even just for playoff implications. For me, it's about getting over the hump. It's about proving that we could finally beat this football team in the Philadelphia Eagles. Haven't been able to beat this team now, I think, the last 8 times we played them. And, yeah, to me, that's what this game is about, proving that you could beat teams in the division that are not named the Washington football team. Not even talking about, making the playoffs. Obviously, it's great. We need this to make the playoffs. I'm not even thinking about that. I'm thinking about finding a way to beat this team. We were up by 11 points the last time we played them in a game we absolutely should have won. Tomorrow night, we got to find a way to get it done, man. Team with a name. Yeah, we got to beat a team with a name, Cash Chats. That's right, man. What's going on, Belly? Thanks for popping the stream. What's going on, Word? What's going on, Sean G? What's going on, IQJ? They are getting healthy, though, Chris. This will be a slugfest. IQJ, this ain't going to be an easy game. I'm going to tell you right now, I guarantee this. I know this ain't going to be an easy game. There's no denying it. This is going to be a tough game. Like you said, they're healthier. I expect Dallas Goedert to be used a lot in this game. They got their running back Sanders. It is going to be a tough matchup. They definitely are healthier than the last time we played them. But by the same token, New York Giants are coming off a win. The way that we've played, we've gone up against better teams than the Philadelphia Eagles. We've went neck and neck. We went neck and neck with the Bucs. We went neck and neck with the Rams. I see no reason why the New York Giants can't stick with this football team. And at the end of the day, they've done that. 3 out of the last 4 meetings have been decided by a combined 10 points, one of which went into overtime. No reason we can't stick with this team. The question is, can we close it out? What's going on, Sean G? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. Just want to make sure I say hello to everybody. What's going on, 69 Lucky? What's going on, Akeem? Like I said, I'm going to try to get some of you guys in. I'm going to wait until hopefully the laptop charges, and if it does, I'll try to get some of you guys in the stream. But I didn't want to I didn't want to be late. Oh man, Lucas, man, thank you so much, man, for the incredible generosity, man. You're ridiculous, man. You blow me away, man. Thank you so much. I don't even know what to say, man. You're always in all my streams. You always show so much support. Thank you so much, Lucas. He says 100 for 100. Congrats on yesterday. Didn't forget you, bro. You're the first content guy I started watching and still the best. Can't hang around today, but wanted to say thanks for all your hard work. Lucas, man, I can't say thank you enough, man. You're one of my best. You're all the way across the globe. You always tune into my streams. You always show me so much support. And let's hope that they get a win for us tomorrow, man. Thank you so much, Lucas, man. I really appreciate it, man. Hopefully you have some fun in the stream tomorrow, man. If you're going to be there, and hopefully we get a win. That's going to be here tomorrow. So I'm really looking forward to that. Thank you so much, Lucas, man. I really appreciate that. I don't even know what else to say, man. You guys blow me away. Thank you to everybody for being here, man. Got fined $11,000. What's going on? What's going on, Nick the Wick, man? Did I miss a super chat, Nick? Hold on. Nick, like I said, I'm going to try to get to him. On the phone, it's much harder because the chat is condensed. I'm going to try my best. I don't want to miss any of these. Hold on. Hold on. Like I said, I could end it and hope that my computer charges. Nick, just tell me what you said. I don't mean to miss your super chat. If I miss any super chats, just let me know. It skips. So just let me know. Whitney, what's going on? Thank you for popping in the stream there. I got Gavin. Thank you so much, Gavin. I appreciate it. Do you want me? Gavin, I want your football team. That's what I want, Gavin. I want your football team. That's what I want more than anything. I want your football team. I want to beat the ever-living hell out of the Philadelphia Eagles. Gavin, you've been a great supporter of mine. Love your profile picture, by the way, with the snot coming out of my nose as I was screaming about the draft pick. Actually, I think it was spit coming out of my mouth, if I'm not mistaken. But I want to beat the hell out of your football team, and we owe you a couple losses there, Gavin. I think you could agree with that. Matter of fact, Gavin, you jinxed it last time. You jinxed it last time. Nick DeWick said, entertain at Talking Sports. I said, F the Eagles. It's about time we get a win. That's right, man. We need to get a win against this football team. But, Gavin, as far as you go, man, you super chatted me last game with 4 minutes to go, and you said congratulations on the win. I blame you, Gavin, for the New York Giants losing that football game. And if you do it again this week, I'm going to have to come over there and I'm going to have to ruffle some feathers. No, but Gavin, man, thank you so much for all the support, man. I really appreciate it. Great Wuda. Great Wuda is one of my favorite subscribers. What's going on there, Angel Coda, man? Thanks for popping in the stream. What's going on, Gabe at Sports? Thank you for popping in the stream. What's up, PJ King? Great Wuda is the I love Great Wuda. Great Wuda, he's always funny. He's definitely a very he'd probably call himself a realistic fan. I call it slightly negative. He all of a sudden looks like he's said, oh, I misread it. You said, I don't want the Giants to go to the playoffs. Why wouldn't you want the Giants to go to the playoffs? Is it because of a draft pick or because you just don't think that we deserve it? Great Wuda. I want the New York Giants to go to the playoffs every single year, and we have an opportunity this year to win the NFC East. So why wouldn't you want the New York Giants to go to the playoffs? I don't want to be sitting at home. I don't want to be talking about the draft mid to late November like I've done the last 2 years. I want this team to have an opportunity to go to the playoffs, and I want to play meaningful football in December. I hope that this team progresses over the course of the year. Tony Romo called a Giants game. He's my favorite announcer, and I think it's only – well, Tony Romo, D, he only does the primetime games. He doesn't do Giant games. Well, no, he does now. He was doing the primetime games. That's right. He got picked up by CBS. I don't watch as you guys know, when I watch the games, I don't have the volume on, so I don't get a chance to listen to him unless I'm actually watching the game. But yeah, he is a phenomenal announcer. I don't think he'll be calling the game tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think he'll be calling the game tomorrow. Let's see what we got here. LA Lou's in the chat. What's going on, LA Lou, man? Thanks for popping the stream. Chris, what beer am I drinking during the game tomorrow? Hakeem says. Hakeem, I haven't decided what I'm going with yet. I've gone with Stella recently. I had Landshark a couple of weeks ago. I've gone with the Sam Summer, the Sam Winter. I haven't decided yet. I might get an Oktoberfest. I haven't decided yet, but I'm definitely going to be wearing the hoodie. You guys know that for sure. Gates Cam Fleming. Nick Gates Cam Fleming. I don't know what that means, but I'll talk about Nick Gates. Nick Gates, by the way, I want to let you guys know I talked to Bobby Skinner, who does a phenomenal job on his channel on Talking Giants during the bye week. He does a lot of those offensive line breakdowns. That's why you reminded me of it, Crimson. We're going to be doing like a 3-piece podcast. Me, Mike Too Nice, and Talking Giants, Bobby Skinner, and Justin. It's going to be like 2 hours. So look out for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. As far as Nick Gates goes, what's up, Bobby? Bobby Woodruff, man. Thanks for popping in the stream. As far as Nick Gates goes, he's gotten progressively better over the course of the year. I think he's earned an opportunity to at least get potentially be the starting center next year for the New York Giants. As far as Cam Fleming goes, he's actually played well the last 2 weeks, but he's definitely not a part of the future. What's up, Muhammadu, man? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. What's up, Jawad, man? Thanks for popping in the stream. What's up, Kurt? Thank you for being here, buddy. Wolfie says, I don't want to go to the playoffs, but I would be extremely happy if we do. I just don't think this team is ready to play in the playoffs just yet. I mean, I could understand saying that you don't think we're going to make the playoffs. I could definitely understand that, Wolfie. I don't understand the mindset of I don't want to make the playoffs. Why wouldn't you want to make the playoffs? Unless you're just thinking strictly draft pick. I'm seeing if my laptop's good because that'll make me a lot comfortable. I can see the whole chat. It's much simpler when I can read it on the cell phone. So I'm hoping it's charged. I'm going to give it a couple of minutes. I'm hoping that it's holding a charge. If not, and it's not, of course. I don't know what maybe it will. We'll see. I don't know what is going on with this thing because it was working completely fine all day. It was on 100% right before I'm about to go live. It starts to screw up. What's up, Joe, man? Thanks for popping in the stream. What's up, Thunder? He says, notice how last few years second-year quarterbacks have won MVP. Carson Wentz would have in his second year, if no injury, then Mahomes and Jackson last year, Kyler next. I don't think Kyler's winning the MVP this year. I don't know his numbers off the top of my head, but I mean, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, you see the numbers that those guys are putting up. Pat Mahomes, I think he's got 26 touchdowns and 1 interception. Aaron Rodgers, I think, has 24 and 2. I do not see Kyler Murray winning the MVP, but it has been a trend that the second-year quarterbacks have definitely taken off. But no, I do not see him winning the MVP at all. Let's see what we got here. Peppers got fined. Yeah, I heard about that, Jawad. I don't think it was a lot of money, though. Somebody told me that right before I went live. I don't think it was a lot of money. I don't remember the exact dollar amount, but I did see that right before I went live. I think it was like $11,000 or something like that? I don't know why he was fined. Maybe it was something to do with practice. I don't think he's missing any time in the game. What's up, Mets fan? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. Allen. Oh, so it was for the Allen hit. Okay, that's what it was for. Yeah, it was 11. Yeah, it wasn't a lot of money. So he'll be playing this week. It was. I guess it was a hit in the game last week. Cash chats. And there's my Discord. Thank you for showing that, Mike. I do appreciate it. This freaking computer, man. And John, man, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. I hope this team makes the playoffs to get the experience. Listen, I am not expecting playoffs. Let me restart this and see if it charges better. I'm not expecting playoffs. I'm not going to tell you guys that I expect playoffs, but I'm always going to tell you that I want the playoffs if it's a possibility. There's no reason why I wouldn't want it. In terms of experience, for me, it's not even just playoff experience. It's just playing meaningful game experience. When's the last time the New York Giants played a meaningful game down the stretch? We have to learn as a football team. I want to have meaningful football in December at a bare minimum. And if we win this game, I think we're going to. And if we win the next two, we're definitely going to. There's no doubt about it. This is the game of the year in terms of growth. Even if we don't make the playoffs, this is such a big game for the New York Giants. And it would be a statement win for Daniel Jones and head coach Joe Judge. Zahai, man, thank you very much, man. Sup, bro? How about the musical chairs going on with the O-line? Good for the future. Still think we should draft another lineman second round next year. Zahai, you know me, man. If you watch my channel, and I know that you do, and obviously most of the people in here watch my channel also, I am a big offensive line guy. I was a little bit concerned, and I don't question a lot of what Joe Judge does. The media questions, the tennis balls, and everything else. Was he too hard on them in practice? I questioned him when he did the musical chairs with the offensive tackles. I didn't quite understand it. I had never really seen anything like it, especially when you're trying to build cohesion with the offensive line. But I'll tell you what, it's been working. Andrew Thomas has gotten better. I think Matt Parrott's gotten valuable reps, and I expect them to do the same thing with the guard spot. As far as next year's draft with the offensive line, you know what? A lot of people talk about Penei Sewell. And Penei Sewell is a unbelievable prospect by all accounts. The best tackle prospect in a very long time. And if you're picking two, I'm not going to cry. I mean, I'm a big offensive line guy, and if you feel he is that transcendent of a talent, if they take him, they take him. I personally do not want to spend an early round pick if I believe in Matt Parrott, which I think the New York Giants do. I would much rather try to sew up a need like the cornerback, the edge rusher, the coverage linebacker. I don't know if I want to take an offensive lineman in the second round either. I think we have more pressing needs, but I definitely want to take at least two offensive linemen in next year's draft. At least one, because right now we only have 6 picks, but at least draft one interior offensive lineman. Maybe a guy capable of playing the center, maybe a guy capable of playing the guard. We need some depth at that position. So I agree with you. I just don't know if I would do it in the second side, maybe the third or the fourth. L.A. Lou, man, thank you very much, man. I really appreciate it, buddy. He says, I hope the Giants make the playoffs for the fans. Even one and done would have to feel good compared to the previous seasons. L.A. Lou, the previous seasons have been pathetic. They've been horrible. I mean, we've won 11 games. I said it in my video this week since I've been on YouTube. It's been a horror show, L.A. Lou, and we found ways to lose games. Really, the only time where the New York Giants have had consistency since I've been on YouTube over the last couple of years has been the second half of the 2018 season, where they went 4-4. They easily could have went 7-1. They lost a number of close games, one to the Cowboys, one to the Colts. But they have not been consistent, LA Lou. They have not been consistent since I've been on YouTube. And they're starting to show that. Unfortunately, so far, it hasn't resulted in a lot of wins. But they're playing consistent. They're sticking with teams that are better than them. They're not beating themselves. They're running the football a lot more than they ever have. And they're showing more discipline. The offensive line is getting progressively better. Now I think Giants fans need to start to see it result in wins. If they don't make the playoffs, I'm not going to cry about it. I didn't have playoff expectations going into the year, but I expect this team to get better. That's what I expected when the year started, and that's what I want to see by the end of the year. May not result in 6 or 7 wins, but I want to see a better football team at the end of the year as of right now. I see a much better team now than I did at the beginning, and I want to see it to continue to grow. I want to see that offensive line get better. I want to see the defense get better, and most importantly, I want to see Daniel Jones get better. Let's see what we got here. G-Men victory, I sure hope so, man. Saeed says Eagles do it all. I don't know who you were talking to there. I'm just trying to pick up some comments here. The O-line stuff was a surprise to Colombo also, Subo says. Well, the offensive line, Colombo has said some really good, I don't know, maybe we're talking to somebody else in the chat, Subo. The offensive line, Colombo's come out and talked about the individual offensive linemen. He said that Andrew Thomas is leaps and bounds better. He's talked about the center position. He thinks that Nick Gates is going to be a starting center for a very long time for this New York Giants football team. I think Colombo, somebody asked me last night, which positional coach has done the best job for the New York Giants? I think you're looking at him right there. I think it's Mark Colombo. Lunch tomorrow, everyone, Jake says. Clutch says, hey, Chris, what are some of the key elements that the Giants need to win more? Also, do you think they have talent to maybe win the Super Bowl soon? Not yet. I'm not even thinking Super Bowl right now, Clutch. I'm thinking about beating respectable football teams. There's steps involved in winning a Super Bowl and becoming a contender, and we have not gotten to that next step yet. We've improved, but we haven't found ways to win. First, we got to learn how to beat pretty good teams. When you say Super Bowl, listen, things happen quick in the NFL. You could become a Super Bowl contending team. Let me turn on this light, by the way. You can become a Super Bowl contending team real quick in the NFL, real fast. Do I expect it next year? Probably not. I'm going to go in with a conservative approach next year. I'm expecting improvement, but maybe 2 years away. A lot of it's going to depend on the progression of Daniel Jones and this offensive line getting better. But I think they're showing signs to being a much better football team. There's no doubt about it. Entertain a mug. What's up, Jot Man? Thanks for popping in the stream, buddy. I am hoping that we can get this thing working for you guys. But if it doesn't, we'll just hang out on the phone for a bit tonight. Let's see what we got. What's up, Zachary, man? Thanks for popping in the stream, buddy. Garbage. Enjoy watching the Eagles in the playoffs. Eagles Nation says, enjoy watching the Eagles in the playoffs. I mean, I've gotten to watch you guys in the playoffs for the last couple of years. Well, you won the Super Bowl a couple of years ago, but in more recent years, I've gotten to see you guys lose in the playoffs. So if you do make the playoffs, I hope we get a similar result. Zahai, man, thank you very much, man. We're clearly not a playoff caliber team. I'd rather not win the division and get a higher draft pick for the future production. At this point, we need talent. And I understand that mindset, Zahai. I understand that. I completely understand that if you win the division, you get the 18th or 19th pick, whatever it would be, and you would, you're not going to be doing much in the playoffs. Maybe you win a home playoff game at best. We know that we're not contending, and it's really everybody in this division. It's the Eagles, it's the Giants, it's the Cowboys. Nobody in this division is going to do anything. I understand the mindset. I cannot root for my team not to win the division if they have an opportunity. But, we'll cross that path when we get there. We'll see how we do against the Eagles this week. And Arian, man, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that, man. Thank you very much, man. Thank you for all the support on the channel. I'm trying to see. All right, we'll see if this charges. I'm going to give this like 20 minutes before I turn the laptop on. Then we'll see if we get it going. But Arian, man, thank you very much, man. I really appreciate it, buddy. And then we'll see if we get some of you guys on. Birthday 10. Yeah, thank you so much, Nikki. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I turned 16, Nikki. Turned 16, actually, a couple days ago. So, yeah, I'm 16 years old, Nikki. But I appreciate the birthday wishes. Thank you very much. What's up, Jawan, man? Thank you for popping in the stream, man. Thank you for the cannolis. I really appreciate that. How can you call yourself a fan if you don't want this team to win the division? Listen, Gino, I want them to win the division, but I'm never going to tell anybody how to root for the team. That's just not me. I'm never going to tell anybody how to root for the football team. I understand the philosophy that we would get a much higher draft pick and we need more younger talent, but I'm with you. On game day, I'm rooting for this team. I want this team to make the playoffs, Gino. I'm with you. If we have an opportunity to make the playoffs, I want to make the playoffs. Sean, happy birthday, man. It's your 13th birthday, man. Happy birthday, buddy. Damn, Chris, you're old enough to drive now. Well, not in New York, Donovan. I think it's actually 17, if I'm not mistaken. I think you could get your driver's permit at 16. I don't think you could. Unless they changed it. I don't think you could drive at 17. Chris, can I get on tonight? Bobby, I'm waiting to see if the laptop charges. If the laptop charges, I'm going to try to get people on, Bobby, but I can't guarantee it. But I wanted to go live because I don't like saying I'm going to go live and then not go live. What's going on? I see that Roy Burrs in the house. He says, let's see what he got. He says, yo, what's good? Do you think the Giants are going to win tomorrow? Roy, I picked them. I picked them this week. And Listen, I was wrong last time. I picked the Giants to win 23-20. They lost 22-21. I was close, but I was wrong. They had an 11-point lead with 5 minutes to go. It's not going to be an easy game. It's a challenging game. We're at home. I think it's going to be a close game. Every time we play the Eagles, it's within 3 or 4 points. That's what history shows you. Once in a while, you'll get a blowout, but usually they're very close games. And we'll see if the New York Giants have progressed and they find a way to beat this football team. I picked them. I'm going to stick with my pick. I got them by about a field goal tomorrow. I'm picking the New York Giants. I'm showing confidence in my football team right now. I think we're every bit as good as the Philadelphia Eagles. That's my honest opinion. I just think that they're more experienced and they know how to win. I worry about that. But in terms of the way that we're coached and the way that we're playing, you ask most Eagle fans right now if they're being honest with themselves. And Sabrina, thank you very much for the birthday wishes. You ask Eagles fans right now if they're being honest with themselves, they'll trade Doug Peterson for Joe Judge in a second. I watch Eagles games. Doug Peterson does not impress me. Doug Peterson is a bad head coach. I know he won a Super Bowl. Doug Peterson does not impress me. The guy makes calls I don't understand. He brings in Jalen Hurts for 2-point conversions. He brings in Jalen Hurts on 3rd and 1 from the 5-yard line. I don't understand it. I think they would trade him for Joe Judge in a second. Let's see what we got here. What's up, Throw Dimes? Thanks for popping in the stream. I see Bad Dog's in here. What's going on, Bad Dog, man? Thanks for popping in the stream. Let's see what we got. And thank you, Cash Chats. I really appreciate that, man. Thank you very much, man. I want to blow out maybe John. I missed that. He says Doug Peterson goes for it on 4th down too much. He's too aggressive. I am not a fan of Doug Peterson. I think he's a bad head coach. I know he's got a Super Bowl ring and Eagles fans will defend him. I think he's a bad head coach. I do not like Doug Peterson. Matter of fact, I think he's going to cost him the game tomorrow. Peterson makes too many clueless decisions, BJ King says. Yep. Let's see what we got here. Green is behind the New York Giants jersey. Excellent motive. We'll see. Let's see. If you were the GM, would you get Justin Fields if in reach? I get this question every single stream. And my answer to you, buddy, is I got to see where we're picking. Well, you said if he's there when we pick. I got to see how Daniel Jones plays over the last 7 games. That's my answer. I'm leaning no. I think Daniel Jones is going to be our quarterback in 2021. That's what I'm leaning. I think the New York Giants are going to elect to fill in other holes. And I do not think that the New York Giants will move on from Daniel Jones at the conclusion of the season. Now, if Daniel Jones plays how he did in the first half and the second half, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But right now, I think Daniel Jones is going to be your quarterback next year. No Will Hernandez will cause the Giants to win. Great Buddha says he's talking to somebody else. Thunder says, Chris, who is your favorite prospect so far in this year's draft? Personally, mine is Chase because Tate is getting old. Sterling, a lot of people like Jamar Chase. I wouldn't mind Jamar Chase. It depends on where we're picking. I keep saying I want to take a cornerback. I think that's the biggest need on this football team. My opinion may change in 7 weeks, but right now I'm looking at Patrick Surtain. If you ask me today, that's what I want. I think that's by far the biggest need for this Giants football team. When I watch them play every week, that is the Achilles heel to our defense. You're going to see it tomorrow. They're going to pick on the other side. We need stable cornerback play in a defense like this. I don't trust the available free agents in this year's class. I know Patrick Peterson's a name. You look at Peterson, he's up there in age. I want a younger cornerback. If you have the ability to draft a top-tier corner, right now that's the train I'm getting on. But in 7 weeks, like I said, my opinion may change. Subo, man, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I think Judge got the rotating lineman plan from Scarnecchia, the offensive line coach with the New England Patriots. Colombo said it wasn't the idea, so it shows how Judge is coaching up his coaches also. I did not know that, Subo. So you taught me something there. I had no idea that was the case. But that's interesting. So, well, listen, man, Joe Judge, if we know nothing else, Subo, about Joe Judge, we know that this is a guy that's picked up things along the way. This is a guy that's learned things throughout his whole entire coaching career, bringing in guys that he's coached with at Alabama, bringing in guys that he's coached with New England. So that makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. And it's a young roster. I didn't like it when they first did it. You guys know that. I didn't know what they were doing, but I'm on board with it now. It certainly worked out. Watch Medicine, man. Thank you very much, man. Have you live stream called a game that the G-Men won? Yeah. Last week I didn't because of my dog, but the week before, the earlier Washington game this year, I live streamed where they won, and I live streamed all the other ones that they had in the previous 2 seasons. But not many. I'm not used to it. But I tell you what, a lot of my subscribers asked me to break out the liquor tomorrow if the New York Giants get a win. the liquor's going to be out. And if the New York Giants get a win, you're gonna see me take a shot at the end of the game, and hopefully they do. Because that was my tradition my first year on YouTube. Peter Almo, man, thank you so much, man. Does that mean Sam Beal is done in your eyes? I thought Sam Beal was done before the year started, Peter. I didn't trust Sam Beal going into the year. He's injury prone. When he got an opportunity last year, he wasn't very good. Maybe he'll prove me wrong, but it's definitely not a guy I feel confident in being a stable cornerback for the New York Giants for years to come. I'll tell you that right now. I definitely don't have faith in him. He was a major disappointment when he was on the field last year for the Giants. Some of that may have to do with the scheme. Maybe it didn't fit Betcher's scheme, but at the end of the day, even if, they feel like he can be a pretty solid corner, the guy's got injury problems. The guy's been banged up his entire career. I have no faith in Sam Beal in terms of being a long-term answer at the cornerback spot. None whatsoever. You already said I missed the super chat. Guys, I'm going to try to get to him. It is hard when I got to read it in this. I don't know who super chatted me, Yuri. If it was you, do me a favor. Just say it again, and I will read whatever you said. I'll look out for you. Just read whatever you said. The $5 ones pop up. I'm not trying to miss $2 ones. Normally, I read it off my phone. So just tell me what you said if it was you, Yuri, and I will read it. Peter, man, thank you very much, man. If that's true, you're right. We have to go cornerback. Peter, I definitely do not trust our cornerbacks right now whatsoever. I think it's by far our biggest need. If we're not going quarterback, we could go edge. We could go middle linebacker. Let me see what Yuri said. I think it was Yuri that said Mr. Super Chat. Yuri, I will look out for you if it was you. So I apologize about that, buddy. The $2 ones skip around on here. So that's why I'm having a little trouble with them. I missed a couple. I missed one other, I know. But thank you very much, man. Wise Medicine says, I think Parsons would make the linebacking core elite. What's going on there, Sports Influencer? Thanks for popping in. Go and check him out if you haven't done so, by the way. He's got a great channel, great supporter of mine. Parsons is another option. I would lean Parsons too, in terms of defense right now, if you ask me. I would go Parsons as my second target. I would go corner and then a linebacker too if I'm going defense. Parsons would be my second option. But again, it's gonna come down to what they feel about Surtain. Let's see. What's up, Ms. Riley, man? Thanks for popping the stream, buddy. New Jersey Jake in here. I'm trying to find Yuri. I think it was Yuri that said it. So if he's in here, I'm sorry, Yuri. Let's see what we got here. Nate, Talking Sports, how's the computer doing? Nate, don't bank on it. I'm going to wait another 15, 20 minutes, but don't bank on it. I can't guarantee I'm going to get you guys on. My computer's acting up. If it should work tomorrow. If it doesn't, I'll definitely be able to at least bring Bad Dog on through the phone. And then I'll do one after the show, hopefully, and I can get some of you guys on. If the Giants win, we'll come back on live. But I'm hoping we can do it tonight. Yvonne, what's going on, man? Thanks for popping the stream, buddy. What's up, M6? Whatever happened to the seventh round cornerback, Chris Williamson? Yeah, and I think he's on the. I could be wrong on this. Maybe somebody could correct me in the chat. I think he's on the practice squad. I could be wrong on that though. I don't remember what happened to him. That's a good question. He was the 7th round pick this year. The only non-linebacker we picked in the last 2 rounds. Surtain is better than Okudah. Raekwon, I'll tell you what, man. Okudah, this ain't gonna work, man. This ain't gonna work tonight. Okudah was a hell of a prospect coming out. And I know he's not doing great right now, but you go back to last year, Okudah he didn't commit a penalty his entire career. He didn't commit a penalty. I think his whole last year, his whole last year well at Ohio State. So he was a hell of a prospect coming out. I think I got one here. Raphael, man, thank you so much, man. Here's my birthday gift, Tana. Let's win. Raphael, man, I really do appreciate that, man. Let's get a W for my birthday, your birthday, any Scorpio or any New York Giants fan. Let's get a W tomorrow. Test Fighters, man, thank you so much. Based on your opinion, what cornerback would we need in the draft? Surtain right now. He's far and away, if you look at any mock draft, he's far and away most people's number 1 cornerback right now. And I haven't done a ton of research, but he's far and away the number 1 cornerback prospect right now. If you listen to what the experts are saying, that's the guy I'd be looking at right now, Patrick Surtain. Yuri says, Doug Peterson, I don't know if this is what you said, Yuri, and if it is, I hope that was your super chat. He says, Doug Peterson is 1-3 after the bye. We have a chance. God, I keep dropping this. You mean historically, he's 1-3 after the bye. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to read too much into that. I hope you're right. He's got extra time to prepare. We'll see. That's a good way to look at it. Listen, at the end of the day, we're just playing better. I'm just going to hold this because it's much easier for me to scan through the chat if I hold it. What's up, little nickname, man? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. I just had some fire tacos. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Nick Wilson, man, thank you very much, man. He says, the playoffs we go. ready for Tate Crowder, Nick Wilson says. Tate Crowder's not going to play tomorrow. I'm almost positive that I read that before I went live. I think Tate Crowder was not activated. I do not think he's playing tomorrow, which sucks. He was a guy I was really looking forward to getting back in the lineup tomorrow. He'll be back after the bye, though, it sounds like. Pete, man, thank you very much, man. He says, I think this team needs both a legitimate number one wide receiver and a second lockdown corner. We can't draft both with only one first rounder. Which position is more enticing in free agency? I think the wide receiver position. I think there's more impact wide receivers than there are cornerbacks. I haven't I haven't done a ton of research scanning the free agency market at the cornerback spot, but Patrick Peterson is the biggest name that I've heard. Maybe there's another guy that I don't know about. I'm going to do a lot more research during the bye week. I'm probably going to have a free agency video up actually talking about the potential prospects that we could bring in, whether it's the cornerback, whether it's the wide receiver. So we'll see. But right now, I look at the names that could potentially be there at wide receiver. We don't know if Kenny Golladay is going to be franchised, but there's a number. There's 4 or 5 big names at the wide receiver position that the New York Giants could potentially look to bring in. So I would think wide receiver, you would have a higher chance of bringing in somebody that was an impact player than cornerback, I would think. But like I said, I got to do more research. Yvonne, man, thank you very much. Happy birthday. Go Giants. So excited about our Yvonne. I have not been this excited for a Mets season in a very long time. And I hype myself up going into every New York Mets season. But this year in particular with the new owner, man, I can't wait to start covering the Mets more, doing Mets streams, and just rooting for my baseball team. And hopefully I get to go to the stadium because I go to a ton of Met games. I used to have season tickets. I actually reached out to Steve Cohen on Twitter because I see he's responding to people. I just want to let him know how excited I am. I used to have season tickets. Haven't had season tickets there in about 4 years, so maybe I'll get a partial plan again. Drunk, man, thank you very much, man. I think we should work on the D first, Drunk Defender says. Yeah, I mean, the D's nearly complete, in my opinion. I think we need, 2 more pieces. I think we need, 2 more pieces to have a really good D. We also need a wide receiver, though. We got to help out Daniel Jones as much as we possibly can. Giants have, 3 or 4 holes I think they really need to hit home with this offseason. And if you ask me, it'd be wide receiver, be linebacker, be edge, corner. That's what you're looking at. I, right now, would say corner's our biggest need. Clutch B-Ball TV, man. Thanks so much, man. Corners are so risky. Look at DeAndre Baker. I get that, and that's what a lot of people say with the cornerback because they look at past failures for the New York Giants, and I know that the cornerback position is a developmental position. It's not a plug-and-play position. It's not like drafting Chase Young or an elite edge rusher, and he's going to come in and he's just going to have immediate impact. I get that, but at the end of the day, you can't let past failures dictate what you do in the draft. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Giants had a ton of past failures drafting tackles. I still wanted them to draft a tackle. I knew that they needed a tackle. I knew that it was the most important position where they had a hole. Right now, if you ask me what's the most important position on this roster where the New York Giants have a glaring hole, it's the cornerback spot. And depending on where we're picking, Patrick Surtain may be staring us right in the face. But again, we don't know where we're going to be picking. So I am not going to let past failures, though, scare me from drafting a cornerback or any other position where we may have had failures in the past. And I see Authentics in here. I want to give him a quick shout out as well. If you guys haven't done so, go check him out too, man. Authentics the man, dude. Thank you for popping in the stream, buddy. Nikki Sav's in here as well. Mr. Finesse. I'm up to 64% on the laptop. I'm hoping this charge a bit, guys. I'm going to keep you guys updated. Maybe we'll go a little bit later if I could get it to work, and I'll get some of you guys on. Mr. Finesse says, Chris, great show. Salute to you. The Giants have excellent coaching. Just need more talent with picks, and the future should be better. Scorpio #1, go G-Man. That's right, my man. Scorpio's in the house. What's going on, Mr. Finesse, man? Thank you. So you got a beautiful dog, by the way. But thank you for being a great supporter. I really do appreciate that. I'm completely with you, man. The talent that we have needs to mature and get better, and we definitely need more established players. We definitely need to bring in 3 or 4 high-impact players for this team to get to where we want it to be, and that's contending for the playoffs year in and year out. No doubt about it. Mr. Finesse, man, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it, man. What's up, Drip Giants? What's going on, Mike Moran? Is Kid Blue in the chat? What's going on, Kid Blue, if you are here, man? Scotty Booms. Love Scotty Booms. He says, Beal got robbed not getting first-team All-NBA. I know they do the NFL show. I didn't know that you were a big NBA guy. Well, you are in Washington, so that makes sense. Being that you guys are Washington football team fans, so that makes sense. Bradley Beal is a free agent, I think, in a year, if I'm not mistaken. I was looking at that, and not next year, the following year. And he's a guy that I actually want the New York Knicks to take a good, hard, strong look at. Really good basketball player. I think he's a little bit undervalued. Kid Blue, man, thank you very much, man. Winning culture better than a high draft pick. I'm with you. I'm with you, KB. I'm with you. If this team could learn how to win football games, I think it's more important. We have the coaching staff that I think can get the most out of these players. Yes, we need talent, but at the end of the day, Kid Blue, I'm all for winning football games. I am all for winning football games and turning around the mentality of this football team, learning how to win football games. I'm completely with you. We're not getting the number one pick, so get that out of your head. That's the New York Jets. I'm taking the playoffs over anything else, but I understand the logic, though. If you can get the 7th pick as opposed to the 18th in a year in which you're probably not going to do much damage, I understand where people are coming from, but I'm still taking that playoff spot if I can get it. I'm not expecting it, but if I can get it, I'm taking it. Jordan, man, thank you so much, man. Stand up, new member. Jordan, man, welcome to the channel, buddy. I really appreciate it. Laptop's charging. We'll see. I'll keep you guys updated on that. Jason Garrett as our offensive coordinator. Do I believe in Jason Garrett as our offensive coordinator? Zadavius, when they first brought in Garrett, there was a little bit of a backlash. It felt like most Giant fans were on board with the hire, based on the success that he had with quarterbacks in the past as a coordinator, not as a head coach with the Dallas Cowboys. But there was a lot of backlash early on in the season, and I knew there would be. Just like there was with Jones, there was backlash with Garrett because the New York Giants were struggling. The offense was struggling. They weren't moving the football. But I put a lot of that on the offensive line. The offensive line, the first 4 or 5 weeks was horrible. But more so first 3.5 weeks were horrible. Since the offensive line has played better, you've seen them open up the playbook. You've seen the Giants have a more balanced attack. I like the way Garrett's calling plays. I'm not telling you he's the best offensive coordinator in the sport, but I think he's definitely a capable offensive coordinator. I'm not worried about Jason Garrett. Thank you very much, man, for tuning in the stream, though. I really appreciate it, buddy. Let's see what we got. Let's see. Test fighters, man. Thank you very much. Should we focus on offense or defense in the draft? Both. I think we definitely still need help on both. And again, it's going to depend on how the rest of it's going to depend on free agency. First off, free agency, like the Giants said last year going into the draft, free agency is what sets you up for the draft. It's one thing I can't stand about the NBA, by the way. The NBA does it backwards. The NBA does the draft before free agency. The NFL does free agency before the draft. I much prefer it that way. I like free agency before the draft because you set your team up for your draft pick. So I like that the NFL does it that way. But it's going to come down to that. It's going to come down to how the New York Giants spend their money in free agency. Last year, for example, going into free agency, I didn't know the New York Giants were going to bring in a cornerback, and they ended up bringing in Bradbury. Had they not brought in Bradbury, a guy like Jeff Okudah would have been a possibility. So what you do in free agency will set up what you do in the draft. And, I think we need both. I think we need a high-impact player on both sides of the football. And if you ask me, I would lean that we're probably going defense in the first round. But that doesn't mean that's what they'll do. I kind of got to see what they do in free agency before I could really have a strong opinion on that. But thank you so much, man. I appreciate it, buddy. Let's see what we got. L.A. Lou, what's going on, man? He says, if the Giants are thinking quarterback in the draft, then they should trade down for Trey Lance, 6'3", mobile, and comes from a winning culture at North Dakota State University. A lot of people love that kid. I don't think they'd be – if they wanted him, Lou, and maybe I'm wrong. I don't look at mocks every single day. But from what I've read, Trey Lance is moving up. If they wanted Trey Lance, I don't think they would trade down. I think they would take him. I think they would take him where they were. I don't think you're going to be able to trade down unless obviously you're picking at like 2, which I don't think we're going to be. But if we're picking at 5 or 6, if that was the plan, I think they would take him. I don't think that they would trade down. Trey Lance, a lot of people say he's got a lot of upside. The guy I work, the other Giants guy I work with, obviously Bad Dog. Mike Too Nice absolutely loves Trey Lance. He's got a lot of upside. I still think we're sticking with Jones. We'll see. But I think we would stay where we were and just draft him. I don't think we would trade down. Mr. Finesse, man, thank you very much. Win games until against the team's best interest. Winning last game last year did nothing for us. If we are in it, play to win. If not, look long term. Well, yeah, Mr. I know. I think the better wording there would be, from your perspective at least, root to lose. I mean, that's kind of where you're saying if the game means nothing. The team is never going to play to lose. The team is coaching for their jobs. They're playing for their jobs. There's no guarantee you're coming back in the NFL. So the team's never going to intentionally lose, that, at least in my opinion. But as a fan, I understand your rooting interest to try to get a better draft pick. Let's see what we got here. Been watching you. What's up, Easy Money, man? Thanks for popping in. Love the name there. Let me get a sip of coffee because it's getting cold. You guys always know if you tune in my streams, I put the coffee off way too long. So let me get to that. Let me take a sip of the coffee, then I'm going to get to you, Easy Money. Just subscribe. Been watching your videos for over a year. Keep up the great work. Great channel. You've been my entertainment for over a year. Easy money, man. I really appreciate that. And let me tell you something. I had to earn your subscription. I had to earn your subscription. And those are my favorite subscriptions, Easy Money. I love when I got to earn a subscription. You watched me for 365 days before you said, you know what? I'm going to hit that subscribe button. And hopefully you ring the bell. You get notifications every time I go live. But I really appreciate you for subscribing. Thank you for the support, man. And I know if you've been watching me that long and it took you that long to subscribe, you're probably going to stick around. So thank you so much, Easy Money, man. I really appreciate it, buddy. Nor Alex says, do you think if we make the playoffs, we will have a chance at the Super Bowl? No. To win a game? Maybe. If we're at home? Maybe. Tanner Dennis, man, thank you very much, man. You produce God. Thank you so much, Tanner, man. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you for popping in the stream, buddy. And thank you for checking out the channel. Anybody that hasn't done so, we're going to be live tomorrow. I know Bad Dog was in here. We're going to be live tomorrow calling the game. So come on by, hang out, watch us call the game together. We have fun. The chat's live. It's a lot of fun. So hopefully some of you guys come back, subscribe, and ring the bell. Hey, Chris, have you looked at the FAU Owls? When you look into prospects, look into some FAU players. I have not looked much into them, CT. I'm focused on the Giants for the most part. I watch some college football, but I have not looked into them. But I obviously look a lot more at the college as the season goes along and in the offseason. Let's see what we got here. What's going on, Cruz on, man? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. Let's see. Giants are going to target a wide receiver in free agency. I'm leaning that way myself, Chris. Well, I don't know if they're going to, but I think it's a strong possibility that they could. I don't know exactly what they're going to do. I think a lot of it's going to depend on kind of what I talked about in my video this week. A lot of it's going to depend on what they decide to do with Leonard Williams and Dalvin Tomlinson. Because if you want to go out there and you want to sign a premier wide receiver, you're going to need cap space. So a lot of it's going to depend on that, and a lot of it's going to depend on who's franchise tagged and who's not. But I definitely think it's an option in free agency. I'd agree with that. Kind of like what the Giants did with Plaxico Burress for Eli Manning in Eli's second year. I could see them going out there and getting an established wide receiver. What's up there, Gideon Vickersy, man? You got it, CT, man. Thanks for being here, buddy. Andrew Thomas is going to be a good player. He's not a bust. I said this the other day when I did a stream, Sahuna. Where are all those fans? Where are all those fans, Sahuna? Kaba? Because like 80% of I should say that, a large portion of the Giants fan base, I know I'm on YouTube. I see the comments. I see them on Twitter. We're saying that Andrew Thomas was a bust 5 games into his career, 6 games into his career. Where are those fans now? I can't find them. I know I don't got the green screen background. Where are you guys? I can't find you guys. I heard from all you guys that Andrew Thomas was a complete bust. I can't find him. I don't know. I believe in Andrew Thomas. I think he's going to be fine for the New York Giants. I don't know where they are. What's going on there, J-Dub, man? Thanks for popping in the stream, buddy. I appreciate it. He says, what would you do if the Giants somehow won it all? I'd shave my head or I'd dye it blue. I've talked about that in the past, but I do not bank on that at all. Yeah, where they at, Jawad? Where they at, Jawad? Let's see what we got here. Andrew, there we go. Some of them don't quit. Some of them don't quit. Crimson Shadow's still doing it. Some of them don't quit. Crimson Shadow still believes he's a bust. We'll get you on board, Crimson Shadow. We'll get you on board. We'll get you on board in a couple of weeks. We'll get you on board. We'll get you on board. We'll get you on board, buddy. BB13. Well, BB13's a Cowboys fan, so I get that. He still thinks he sucks. We'll make you believe it real soon, BB13. I promise you. We'll make you believe it real soon. Just keep watching the Giants. You'll believe. You'll believe real soon. I promise you. Let's see what we got. Jake Thomas, man. Thank you so much, man. He says, hey, Tate, I love the stream and all your content. Keep up the great work. I'm a fan for life. Go Big Blue. Jake, man, that means the world, man. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. And I'm the same way, man. Big Blue for life, man. I'm thinking New York Giants all the time. If you follow me on Twitter, sometimes I'll tweet out 5 different things, thoughts that are going through my head throughout the day. I absolutely love the New York Giants, and I can't wait till we get back to where we need to be, Jake. And I think we're headed there. But thank you so much, man, for the support. I really appreciate it, buddy. Let's see what we got here. Oh, there's another one. Guys, take notes. Take notes. If you're watching this stream, because I'm going to call them all out. And I love you guys, but I'm going to call you out because at the end of the year, we're going to talk again. If you're watching the stream, guys, take pictures. Ryan C. says Thomas is a bum. We're now in week 9. Just take pictures of that. We'll talk in week 17, Ryan. We'll talk week 17. Let's see what we got here. Wolfie says the Rocky movies are overrated. Now, Wolfie, I can't stand Philadelphia. Actually, you know what? To be fair, I actually like Philadelphia. I've been to Philadelphia a couple of times. I actually think it's an underrated city, but I can't stand the fans of Philadelphia. But I cannot say that the Rocky movies are overrated. The Rocky movies are the greatest sports franchise, in my opinion, in the history of movie-making cinema. I'm absolutely obsessed with the Rocky movies. Now, Wolfie, what I will say, after number 2, it kind of became like a music video. You had number 3, which was 4 Against the Russian was It was kind of like an hour and a half music video. But the first 2 movies are phenomenal. And some of the more recent ones have actually been very good with the new Creeds. Let's see what we got here. Why? Oh, you're talking to Simon. Okay. You're talking to Simon. L.A. Lou. What's up, L.A. Lou? He says he's terrible in pass protection. We'll see, man. We'll see. We'll talk later. How many games do we have to win the division? Tanner Dennis says, I'm going to have a video if we win, which we don't know if we're going to win yet. But if we win, I'm definitely going to have a video analyzing everybody else's schedule for the remainder of the year. The Eagles, the Giants, really just the Eagles and the Giants. I'll probably go over all the teams. But if the Giants win the next 2, I think 6 wins, we have a legitimate chance to win this division. Because if you look at the Eagles' schedule, if we beat the Eagles, it might take 7. It might take 7. But if we beat the Eagles and the Bengals, you look at the Eagles' next 5 games, you've got the Browns, you've got the Seahawks, you've got the Saints. And they're playing 2 other really good teams. I can't remember off the top of my head. Maybe the Ravens are one of them. I can't remember. They played 5 really good teams in a row. If the Giants were able to win the next 2, beat the Cowboys the last game, and win one of those middle 4, it would at least give them an opportunity to possibly make the playoffs. 7 definitely does it, in my opinion, if you beat the Eagles. 6 gives you a chance. Tana, sorry for being late. How you doing? You guys, I love when you guys apologize. Sometimes I get apologies after the stream. Sorry, I missed. Never apologize. You guys are the best. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for tuning in, buddy, man. I'm doing good, German brother. I'm getting ready for a New York Giants win tomorrow, man. I'm coming in optimistic, man. I believe in my football team. I think we're at least gonna compete, and we're gonna make this a football game. And I'm looking forward to it, man. It's the game of the year, and I hope you're as jacked up as I am. Would you bring back Logan Ryan next season? AJ Marshall says. AJ Marshall, to me, no brainer. AJ Marshall, no brainer. The guy is a leader in the locker room. The guy's played phenomenal. If you look at the snap counts for the New York Giants, that guy plays every snap. He's been really good for the Giants. Now, when McKinney comes back, he's probably going to get a little bit less of a role. But 1,000%, I'm bringing Logan Ryan back. And I think Logan, BB13's laughing it up. BB13's laughing it up. Game of the year. I'm not saying for the NFL, BB13. I'm saying for the New York Giants. I'm not saying it's the game of the year for the NFL. It's the game of the year for the New York Giants. There's no doubt about it. It's the game of the year. It's the Philadelphia Eagles. And it means something. It absolutely is our biggest game of the year. It's sad that it is. And you guys have a lot to do with that. The NFC East as a whole has a lot to do with it. But it is the biggest game of the year for the New York Giants. There's no denying it. Blue Collar says, if we win the division, what would be our draft position? If we lose in the first, I think we'd be 18. Well, how many? 14 teams make the playoffs. There's 32 teams. So, yeah, we'd be, I don't even know, 18 or 19. I think 18. We'd be 18. Let's see what we got here. John says, Giants need a playmaker more than a receiver. People are talking about I think that the Giants need a playmaker more than a receiver people are talking about. We have a playmaker in Saquon, but he got hurt. Put Saquon on this team. We have 5 wins right now. I love your optimism. I don't know if I would say 5. We definitely have more. I still think we need a wide receiver, though, John. But I completely agree that he would make the offense a much better offense with how improved this offensive line has gotten. Do you do fan meetups at games when there's fans allowed? I've done it once. It wasn't really that well organized, Anthony. I did it last year. It was kind of more so just YouTubers. We met a couple of fans when we were there. But, yes, that's in the plans, and it's something that I actually want to do going forward, Anthony, every year. And not just at a home game. I actually have thought about, and I'm going to do it, organizing, if I can. I got to work on it next year, road games as well, where we go on a plane and, even if it's 20 of us, 10 of us, whatever, we go on a plane and we go to a road game as well. I want to try to go to one road game, one home game, and organize some meetups with you guys. That's something that I definitely want to work on. 1000%. Ira Marion, man, what's going on, buddy? He says this is Shamari. Shamari's the man, dude. Glad to see you back in here. You know what? I have a crazy memory, by the way, Shamari, and I'm almost positive, and I could be wrong on this. What's up, Gamer334? Thanks for popping in the stream. I am almost positive you were the first person that ever donated to my channel. I am almost positive on that, Shamari. You've been with my channel since the beginning. I remember you in the streams when I first started. And I remember one time Shamari called me. He thought I was live. I think he was watching a replay. And you called me, and I picked up, and we talked for an hour about the New York Giants. It was a great conversation. Thank you for being a great supporter of the channel. He says, this is Shamari. I love the old school defense. Identity Martinez is like Antonio Pierce. And I told you about Bradbury. He gave up 1 touchdown this year. Dude, he has been absolutely phenomenal, Shamari. He's been the New York Giants' best offseason acquisition. He's completely changed. Nate, I'm still waiting for it to charge. I'm going to let you know. It's at 74%. But if I turn on the laptop and it doesn't stay charged, it'll shut down. So I'm letting it charge. I'm going to hope. I don't know what time. Another 10, 15 minutes. I'll turn it on. If it dies out, we're not going to have it. If it stays on, I'll go on the laptop and we'll bring some people on. But I remember you calling that too, Shamari. Bradbury's been phenomenal for the New York Giants, and Martinez has been a pleasant surprise for the New York Giants. He's been a pleasant surprise. I did not expect him to be as good as he's been. Kid Blues burner account. What's going on, Kid Blues burner account, man? He says if Gettleman stays, we're not getting a wide receiver 1. He hates what. I actually disagree with that. I could be wrong. If you go back and look at Dave Gettleman's draft history, somebody in the chat correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure he drafted a first-round wide receiver. He might have even drafted 2 first-round wide receivers. Now, they didn't work. I don't think they were hits. But I do think that Gettleman actually drafted some first-round wide receivers well at Carolina. They just didn't turn out to be very good wide receivers. I think Devin Funchess was a first-round wide receiver, and Kelvin Benjamin might have been as well, if I'm not mistaken. So I do think he actually has drafted first-round wide receivers. They just didn't work out. But I've heard a couple of people say that to me, and that's a myth. He has drafted wide receivers early in the draft as well. Yeah. Let's see what we got. I think let's see. Fat shit Kelvin. Yeah, Kelvin Benjamin, and I'm pretty sure Devin Funchess was a first-round pick. I could be wrong on that though. Blitz says, do you think the Giants still have a chance at the number 1 in the NFC East? Do you think that the Giants should lose to get a better pick? I'm never rooting for my team to lose. I don't believe in tanking. That's me. I don't tell people I root for their team, but that's me. I don't believe in that. Do I think they still have a chance? Yes. Do I think it's a good chance? No. I think we have a, right now, 15 to 20% chance. If we win tomorrow, I'll up it to 35%. If we win the next 2, I'll up it to close to 50%. But right now, I'd say it's more in like the 15 to 20% range, but I'm certainly not rooting for my team to lose, especially because we have an opportunity. Amid, man, thank you so much, man. Amid, great supporter of the channel, man. He says, this is Ingram's makeup game. I'm calling it. He catches the game winner. Let's go, Big Blue. Amid, man, nothing would make me happier. You know, I know that I there's no doubt about it. I rag on Evan Ingram. Once in a while, I'll let out a funny tweet on Twitter poking fun at Evan Ingram. Listen, the guy's been bad this year. I'm rooting for him. I mean, if you watch my channel this offseason, he was a guy that I was rooting for. He's a good guy, seems like a good teammate. I'm rooting for him. I want him to turn it around, Amid, but until such time he can catch the football consistently, I don't think he's going to be in the long-term plans for the New York Giants. But make no mistake about it, he's definitely our best weapon right now. With Barkley out, he's definitely our biggest mismatch, but he's got to catch the football. We'll see. We'll see. He definitely had the opportunity to have a huge game against the Philadelphia Eagles last time, and obviously he did what he did, but he was able to get open. We'll see if he can do it, man. Let's see what we got. Gettleman is not getting fired. Great Wuda and me. We don't always think alike. Great Wuda and myself. And I see Lloyd in the chat. I want to say thank you for being a great supporter. Thank you for being a member, Lloyd. Thank you for being here. Martinez has led the league in tackles. Yeah, a number of times he's led the team in tackles. Great Wuda, you and me don't always think alike. Here, we do. Right now, and I'm not saying definitively he's coming back, but right now, if you ask me today, all you Gettleman haters, get ready to hate him one more year. I think he's coming back. If you ask me today, I agree with you, Great Wuda. Chris says, Chris, what do you think the score is for tomorrow's game? Let's go Giants. I've got the Giants winning by about a field goal. On Mike Too Nice's channel, I think I said 26-21. I'm gonna make it a little closer. I'll go 24-21. 24-21. Mr. Finesse, man, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. He says, off topic, do you start Giovanni Bernard or J.D. McKissick this week? I would have to look at their matchups. Let me try the laptop now, guys. I said I was going to try it, and if the laptop works, I'll look up their matchups for you real quick. I am not a huge fantasy guy. I do play it. I should be more active than I am, to be honest with you. I'm in way too many leagues because I'm way too nice of a guy, and everybody asked me, will you be in my fantasy league? And I said yes. But let me see something here. Giovanni. All right. Give me a minute on the laptop, and I will get back to your question. I want to be able to answer Giovanni Bernard or J.D. McKissick. I will let you know. And I think the laptop's going to work, Nate, but I'm going to give it like 5 more minutes. And then if it looks like it's going to work, I'll pop on there. I'll make a quick transition, and then we'll bring some people on. Let's see what we got here. But I'm not, because it got pushed back, I'll try to get as many people as I can. I'm not going to be able to get everybody. I cannot stay on here 5 hours. I can't do it. But I will try to get, some people. Jake Thomas, man, thank you very much, man. If New York has a top 10 pick, I go with Parsons to learn under Martinez, but I love the idea of a Gronk-esque tight end. I do not love the idea of a Gronk-esque tight end in the first round. I would like a really good tight end, but I just don't think we're in the position to draft a tight end in the first round right now with the way that this team is set up. Mike says start Bernard. I'll tell you what. If Mike says start Bernard, start him. Mike is in my my Discord, and he is he's very active when it comes to fantasy football. So I'm going to trust his judgment, but I will take a look at J.D. McKissick right now, actually, and I will let you know. I will let you know what I think. 1 second. I'll let you know. Giovanni Bernard has kind of been a little bit of a disappointment throughout his career. His rookie year, he was good fantasy-wise. I always thought he was going to be more than what he turned out to be. I remember I was so excited when he first came into the league. Let's see. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. What's going on there? What's going on, Scott? Man, thanks for popping in the stream, buddy. And I am going to make Joe Mixon is out. Okay. You know what? Go with Mike then. If Gio's starting, go with Mike. Go with Giovanni Bernard. I'm going to try to make this quick transition here. I think it's going to work. And if it does, all right, give me a minute. All right. Why do I hear? Oh, I hear myself through the phone. Hold on 1 second, guys. How do I get? On. Now I'm on here. Let me get rid of this. And let's get rid of this guy. Sorry about that, guys. Made a quick transition. All right. There we go. Okay. So now let me pop up the chat on my phone, and we should be good to go. Hopefully this thing doesn't die on me. But thank you once again, guys. Thank you guys for sticking me. Sorry for the crappy green screen today. And I do appreciate everybody for coming on. I do. And let me update this so I can give you guys the back. That was just a second. And there's the link. And there you go. There is the link for anybody that wants to pop on, anybody that wants to come on and talk video chat. Sorry about that, guys, man. I really appreciate it, though. Let's get back to the live chat on the phone so I can follow you guys here. And I'll bring some of you guys on via video chat. I'm trying to do this weekly. We'll do this for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. I'm gonna let a few people pop in, and then I'll bring them on one at a time. I'm gonna make it quick. I can't have guys talking for 15, 20 minutes because, we'll see how many people pop in. But I can't have people talking for 15, 20 minutes because I can't be on it for 5 hours. So we're gonna make it as quick as we can. What's going on, Bada Bing, man? Thanks for popping in. Mike, what's going on? Cash Chats, thanks for popping in. Swag Waffles, UC, what's going on, my man? Joey, Zeke sucks. Go Giants. Thumbs up the stream. I appreciate that, man. What's up, fam? Just saying hi and hope all is well. Ordinary Pete. I always tell you, Pete, you are far from ordinary, my man. But I always appreciate you when you pop into the stream. I can't say thank you enough to everybody that shows support on the channel. And we're going to bring my first guy in. Nate's been asking me for a long time, when am I getting it going? Nate, let me just shrink it down. Hold on one second. And by the way, Nate, I absolutely love the profile picture.
Thank you, my man.
Love it. What's up, buddy?
Not much. I'm just getting ready to watch the Giants crush the Eagles tomorrow. It's going to be fun.
Oh, so now you're picking the Giants. I don't know if I ever asked you your prediction. You're picking the
No,
Giants?
I don't think you have, but if I'm honest, I'm not sure. I think last time was probably our best chance this year, but anything can happen. These are two teams that are not at their best form, and let's be real. This is the NFC least. It's by no means a decided competition.
You're one of my favorite guys to talk to on the Discord because I think you are realistic, but at the same time, you're optimistic.
Yeah.
You're not a doom and gloom guy. You're not one of these fans that thinks the sky is falling. You see hope in this football team. You think they're going to be a good football team potentially by next year.
I absolutely do. And the big thing about it is I'm only 16, so I've been watching for as long as you. I haven't been watching for as long as Bad Dog, certainly, but I've seen some pretty terrible coaching on this team. And now I really get to be excited to have a guy that I'm confident is the guy going forward in Joe Judge. And I know that I was one of those guys early in the season who said, give it time, let's see where it goes, all that good stuff. But we have given it a fair amount of time, I think. We're halfway through his first year. It just looks like we're moving in the right direction. It looks like the guys are going out and playing their hearts out for the guy. And I think that's what you want to see in a new coach, first and foremost. And then the more important thing is, I said in the beginning of the year, I didn't want everything to show up in the win total, and there was no way it was going to. I told you I thought it was going to be 4-12. I thought 5-11 was the ceiling. So far, that's looking pretty good. And I said I wanted improvement, but I wanted to see it on the field, not in the box score. And I'm seeing improvement on the field. The scheme looks like it's a good fit for the personnel we have, and it looks like we just need those 5 guys. Those 5 guys I've been ranting and raving to you about for the last however many weeks. And you see it. We all see it. It's just playmakers at this point. We have the foundation. We just got to build the house. We need that CB2 across from Bradbury. We need a middle linebacker that can drop back into the deep middle and take away tight ends. And, of course, as everyone loves to point out, we need the wide receiver 1. Now, about that, I want to say something that a lot of people aren't going to like, and I want to contradict something that I said earlier in the year. Mm-hmm. I think there is a possibility, and I use that word very specifically, a possibility that Darius Slayton could become a wide receiver 1. And I say that because he's not had wide receiver 1 production yet, but when you watch these clips, when you rewatch every play, he's getting open at a really good rate. He's creating separation against man coverage, and he's getting open deep, which is what his strength is. The problem is that DJ hasn't been looking at him. You remember from that last Eagles game.
There was a play. I know exactly what you're going with. There was a play where
I'm going.
There was nobody within 10 yards of him on the left side. And he looked right. That was when he threw the interception.
Yep.
I still think we need another wide receiver, whether 100%, whether it's a 1A, 1B situation or Slayton becomes a 2, whatever it is. But I do like Slayton. He's a bit inconsistent, but some of it might have to do with Daniel Jones. And I agree. We're only a couple of pieces away. And the thing that I like most about this team, let me just read this real quick. Cruz on. He says, check out Zach Wilson. I like him and Fields. A lot of people love Zach Wilson. A lot of people like Zach Wilson.
We can talk about him.
Yeah, he's really moving up mock drafts. But to go back to the, what you said about the team, the thing that I like about, love about the team is what you just said. Yeah, we need some playmakers. But in the nuts and bolts area, the New York Giants are strong and they're improving. And it's only going to get better by next year as this offensive line gets more continuity. But going into the year, this was by far the thing that I needed to see big leaps and, strides with as the season progressed, and we're seeing it. And I think it's only going to get better before the end of the year.
Yeah, 100% agree there, specifically on the offensive line. I've said it before. I will continue to scream it from the rooftops. Mark Colombo is the answer. And I think the Cowboys really screwed themselves on this one, where Jerry Jones decided to, I think rightfully, fire Jason Garrett, but he decided that the entire house had to be cleaned out, and Mark Colombo went with it. And that was such a terrible decision in my mind, because Mark Colombo built what has been consistently a top 5 unit in Dallas, and now he's in New York, which I'm very happy about. I was psyched when it happened. I'm still psyched about it. And I think that as we continue to give him talent to work with, that situation's only going to improve. Now, let's talk about Zach Wilson, this kid that everyone is saying we should take, we should look at, we should watch his film. I finally gave in and watched some Zach Wilson tape. And here's what I'll say. I'll say I think he's a project. Not to the same extent that Jones was when he was coming out, but I think there's still some decision-making to be worked on. There's still some pocket stuff to work on. Different problems than Jones, but still there. I think he's definitely more talented. So it would be an upgrade in that regard. What I'm concerned about is whether or not we're really going to commit to that. Because more often than not in the NFL, when you're gonna switch quarterbacks, it's not just out of the blue. So I think if we do end up switching quarterbacks, it's going to be because Gettleman's gone. Gettleman, in large part, has hitched his wagon to DJ here. And if Jones is really sucking up the room for these last 8 weeks, that's going to end up being the move. The problem there isn't so much that I think Jones is a world beater, because obviously he's not. It's that I think that kind of messes with our timetable.
I agree with that. You start from scratch. You start from scratch.
Even if we don't start from scratch, even if we're just taking a quarterback, I think there's a very specific route to the best possible offseason here. I think that involves the first 2 picks we make. Personally, I think those first 2 picks have to be, in some order, a corner and a middle linebacker. And I know a lot of Giants fans are going to say Blake Martinez has been playing so well, and he has, but you can also very clearly see that Blake Martinez is great at what he does, but we also need someone to do what he can't do, which is a rangy middle of the field guy and cover tight ends.
Now, let me ask you about Tate Crowder.
God.
A lot of Giants fans like him, and he hasn't been given a lot of, he's been hurt. He didn't start to begin the year. This week he's going to be out. They didn't activate him, today, so he's not going to be able to suit up tomorrow. Do you think the Giants may feel Tate Crowder could morph into that type of linebacker, at least situationally?
Now, that's a loaded question because you phrased it in such a way that, do you think the Giants view it? I have no idea how the Giants view it.
Yeah. But because Judge obviously liked the kid they drafted.
Yeah. Personally, I don't think not because Tate Crowder can't have a good skill set and not because he can't be a consistent tackler, a good guy against the run game. I think his ceiling, and I hate to use the word, but I think his ceiling is a rotational kind of guy. Someone to give breathers, someone to get some mid-level reps. And then the problem here in terms of is he the answer is that we need a very specific skill set at linebacker. And he does not fit that skill set. He doesn't have the explosiveness. He doesn't have that athletic ability to take the Tampa 2 deep middle. That's what we're looking for. That's a Micah Parsons, that's a Chaz Surratt, someone like that. He doesn't have that. He's more of a Blake Martinez in training, I'd say.
Yeah, I agree with you. I want to get an upgrade at the linebacker position. I'm completely with you. Whether it's in the first, second, third round, I think we definitely need some more depth at that position. I'm not a big believer in Mayo.
Me either.
I'm with you. I want to go. I want to go deep, but we definitely need a wide receiver too. And we've talked about that, whether it's in free agency, whether it's in the draft. And we'll see how it plays out.
The thing about the linebacker position is that a lot of people are getting caught up in finding this perfect prospect too. We don't really need that. We don't need a guy that's going to be the captain of the defense. We don't need a guy that's going to have the massive football IQ because we already have that. We already have that in Blake Martinez. For lack of a better term here, we need a weapon for Blake Martinez to swing around. Someone that can be a hash-to-hash guy, cough Micah Parsons, cough, and who can just run around and make the plays that we need made. Look back at that Eagles game, right? There were quite a few times where the Eagles just got free yardage to that backup tight end. Just randomly because we don't have anyone that can cover.
I mean that's been the story with the Giants for the last 4 years, 5 years when it comes to guarding the tight end.
Exactly.
But Nate, I gotta let you go because I got a lot of people waiting.
Fair enough.
But I want to say thank you so much for calling in. Thank you for being such a great supporter of the channel. And give me a quick final score for tomorrow's game.
I think it's gonna be a low scoring game. I'm gonna say 2017 Philly.
All right, I'm hoping it's the other way around, but I definitely
picked the Giants last time. I can't do it again.
I definitely think it'll be within a field goal or 3 or 4 points either way. But Nate, man, thank you so much for coming on, buddy.
All right, thanks.
You got it, my man. Thank you for coming on. Next guy we got on is Kalen. I just want to read this super chat real quick from JB12. Thank you so much. He says, when McKinney comes back, does Peppers play next to Blake? I mean, maybe a little bit more. I think Peppers is still going to play primarily safety. I think they'll move the players around. But I think they'll find ways to get them in the lineup. But no, I do not think that Peppers is going to play exclusively as a linebacker. Kalen, what's up, buddy?
What's up, man?
What's going on, buddy, man? Thanks for popping on.
Yeah, no problem. So, I'm like nervous, but it's like the good kind of nervous where you kind of like you want to throw up, you want it to just happen, but you gotta wait.
Don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it, man. I love talking to you guys. You know, I love getting to talk to all my subscribers. I don't believe I've ever gotten an opportunity to talk with you. I've seen you active in my streams before, and I'm glad that you came on, man. What do you think about tomorrow night's game?
Oh man, I think so. I'm usually a pessimist with these kind of things, but like given the way we played last time, we had them beat, and I think everyone in that locker room knows that they should have won that game. All the coordinators, all the coaches, all the players. And going into this week, which the irony is crazy because we're coming off another win versus Washington. We're coming into this game. I'm hoping every player had this game circled. Forget the rest of the games in the year. This game circled. I think there's a good vibes going. Golden Tate apologized to everyone during practice. I was hoping we were going to get Devontae Freeman back.
Yeah, he's going to be out. But you know what? A lot of people worry about Freeman. I'm going to read Cruz on Super Chat in a second. A lot of people worry about Freeman. I'm not too worried about him. The way that we've been able to establish at the point of attack on the offensive line, we've done a good job with Freeman out. I still think we could do a good job. I do worry about the interior part of this defensive line. I think the Giants are going to have to get creative with the way they run the ball. But I still think Gallman, Alfred Morris, Deion Lewis, I still think they could be productive running the football.
Yeah. And no, the pessimist in me is like, I've noticed this over the past few years, and I'm sure other people have. Like, we always played the Eagles better in Philadelphia than we do at home. I don't know why that is. It just seems like we get closer to victory in Philadelphia. I don't know if you think that too, but
I don't think it really matters. I mean, especially this year. Now, the thing I'd worry about in terms of being closer or further away this week is the fact that the Eagles are healthier and the fact that they're coming off a bye. So I think those are detractors going into this game. Last time we played, the Eagles were more banged up, and now they have an extra week to prepare. So if you're thinking pessimist, you could think of it that way. Would I be shocked if the Eagles went out there and beat us, by 10 points or so based on those factors? No. Regardless, I think the Giants are going to keep it competitive. I don't think they're going to go out and get embarrassed. And I think if they limit the mistakes, they're going to have an opportunity to win this football game.
Yeah, and I think Daniel Jones' two best games, or like one of his best games of the year, was against Philadelphia. And he just came off a game where he didn't have a turnover for the first time in like a year. So he's got that going for him. He's going to have most of his weapons out there. I don't know what the weather is tomorrow. I think it's going to be nice. So
yeah, I honestly didn't even look at the weather report. But, to me, this game comes down to what I talked about in my video this week. Run the ball, stop the run, limit the turnovers, play old school football, and the Giants are given an opportunity to win this football game. But Kalen, I got a lot of people. I'm trying to keep it moving.
Yeah.
But I just want to say thank you so much for being such a great supporter on the channel. I appreciate you for popping on and talking some Giants football, buddy.
Yeah, thank you for everything, man.
You got it, man. Thank you for thanking me. All right. We're going to get George on. George, 1 second. I just want to read Cruz on Super Chat, and then I'm going to get to Chizolo. Cruzon says, Jones's biggest problem is not his turnovers. It's the fact he stares down wide receivers. It goes hand in hand. I was about to say that before I continued to read the Super Chat, Cruzon. That might lead to turnovers. It's frustrating the way he stares them down. I agree with that. There's a number of times where he doesn't scan the field. You're absolutely right. He doesn't look off his first read a lot of times. It's a really good point that you bring up. That's been a problem that he's had. The one thing he's definitely improved on, Cruzon, has been the fumbling problems. That's undeniable. He's gotten a lot better at that. And Chizolo, thank you very much. Says, let's win this. I hope Austin Mack gives Jones a boost. Yeah, I hope the Giants continue to use Austin Mack. Now that Golden Tate's back, we'll see if they do so. But what's going on, George? Thanks for popping on, buddy.
Chris, how's it going, my man?
What's up, man? I could hear you. You're coming in really low, though. I don't know if you're far away from the mic. I don't know. Go ahead and talk again.
How's it going? You doing all right?
You're coming a little bit better. What's up, George?
Listen, Chris, I don't think we've had a game this big in a long time. It's been forever since we've had a game that, defines our season as much as this game. I think you would agree to that, would you?
Well, I mean, over the last 3 years, yes. I mean, you go back to 2018, even though we played really well down the stretch, we went 4-4. We knew going into those last 8 games, we had no opportunity to make the playoffs. Here, even though it's a slim chance, and even though it would be embarrassing to make the playoffs with 6 wins, and it's not even about the playoffs for me, why I feel like this game is important. It's you have a new coach, you had an opportunity to beat this team the first time around, and you blew an 11-point lead. You're starting to turn the corner. You're starting to see this offensive line make big strides. And I think we need to continue to see that. And I think you need to prove to the fan base that you could beat somebody in this division outside of Washington. So I think it is a very big game. Even if you throw the playoff implications out the window, I still think it's a really big game. And the New York Giants got to find a way to give us 4 good quarters.
Absolutely. It's the problem with this is that we can win these games, but it's always we do one or two things wrong. I remember to that disappointing game against Philadelphia, the first one away. It just after halftime, things just kept going south. We had that one penalty on a punt return. I believe it was in the fourth quarter. That was like I believe 15 yards. That was on the game-winning drive, I think, where we also took Deshaun Jackson out of the game. That screwed us over. The defense just collapsed. I don't know what happened, but I can't say I'm disappointed with the defense. I mean, they've been it's the best defense that I've seen in a very long time from the New York Giants. And, I've been watching them for not that long. I'm not really old, but I mean, I'm certainly uh, excited for this defense. I think it's going in absolutely the right way. And I think that Graham is, he has a plan. He has a plan. I definitely think that within the next few years, like you said, we get that coverage linebacker, a good corner to complement Bradbury, and I think we have it figured out. What do you think?
I love the defense, and I think a lot of it has to do with Patrick Graham. And a lot of it, you got to give Gettleman some credit. I mean,
Absolutely.
he brought in Leonard Williams last year. We might hate the trade, but he's been great for this team. And obviously Martinez and Bradbury. So they've been our 3 biggest impact players. All 3 were brought in by Gettleman over the last 2 years, or year and a half. And we haven't even gotten an opportunity to see McKinney yet. And that's factoring in DeAndre Baker. What happened with him? Imagine how much better this defense could have potentially looked if Baker took strides this year. So, I think the Giants have done a good job overhauling this defense. I still think they're a piece or 2 away. But I'm definitely optimistic about the future of this defense. It is, obviously the 2016 defense was better, but that was a short-term fix. That was bringing in a number of older players, free agents that broke down the following year. They went out there, they spent a boatload of money bringing in Janoris Jenkins, Damon Staggs Harrison, Olivier Vernon, and it was a 1-year fix. This is more of a permanent fix, even though some of it was free agency, but they're a little bit younger, and they're continuing to bring in younger players via the draft. So I do think this defense has some sustainability, but I think the biggest reason why this defense is really taking huge strides is the coaching staff. I think Patrick Graham has the most to do with it.
Absolutely. And, not just, of course, Graham is brilliant and, probably a future head coach, but, what you see from the defense themselves, you see the passion, you see the aggression. They want to go out there and win. They're not playing to lose. And, even though we don't win many games, I'm sure the fans appreciate that they're going out there, they're busting their asses, they're trying their absolute hardest to get a win. And I certainly appreciate that.
Listen, man, that's what I asked for this year, man. I want effort. I want consistent effort. It's why I blasted the team after the 49er game, because I didn't see it. But outside of that game, I've seen effort. I've seen progression. And for me, this year, that's all you could ask for. The progression that I need to see now is Daniel Jones. I need to see him have a strong second half. I thought he had a pretty good game last week, but again, it's against Washington. We need to see him get better, and we need to see him play strong over these last 7 games.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think that was his best game as of this year, Washington, for the sake of no turnovers and obviously that late game sack where I remember watching that and, it was just kind of I was so, just don't fumble it. Just don't fumble it. Because you see The ball is in his arm. His arm is high. The safety just or the corner, he just obliterated him. And I'm just like, don't fumble. Don't fumble. He didn't fumble. And that obviously was the play of the game. But I mean, Jones, as much as I hate to say it, he's got to be a game manager. Well, I mean, it's not that I hate to say it. It's just that there is a stigma around it, which I don't think there should
You know what,
be.
man? Yeah, that's what I said on Twitter, man. I don't get, I get that you want these superstar quarterbacks, and maybe Jones could eventually become that. Maybe he could evolve into that. I'm not going to say he can't. I'm leaning that he won't, because I never thought he'd be that type of quarterback. But you could win with game managers. Russell Wilson won a Super Bowl as a game manager. Ben Roethlisberger won a Super Bowl early in his career as a game manager. Tom Brady threw 18 touchdowns his rookie year, his first year as a starter. He won a Super Bowl, 18 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. You could win games as a game manager. And the way that this team is constructed right now, with the lack of weaponry and still learning to adjust to this offense, at least for this year, with Saquon Barkley out, that's the way that Daniel Jones has to play if the New York Giants intend to have opportunities to win football games.
Yeah, I think so. I think you hit that right on the head. I'm gonna. Can I ask you one question, and then I'll get the next guy if he wants to come on.
Yeah, go ahead.
So this year, I'm very happy with the offensive line too. That's a great improvement. But really, the shakiest part, you had Thomas in the first half of the year. He was definitely struggling. He was shaky. He seems to have stabilized now. He seems like he's adjusting to the league very well. So if you shift over to the right side, Cam Fleming, as of right now, is our starting guy. But of course, Matt Parrott's been kind of integrated. And I don't know. Do you think Parrott should start? Because personally, you get a rookie tackle. I like what they're doing. They're kind of easing him in. Fleming's been all right, but Parrott has also been all right. I think it's time for Parrott to start. I mean, I'm not saying that he should be playing 100% of the snaps. I just think that he should at least start. What do you think?
Yeah, listen, I have no issues, with what the Giants have done with the musical chairs and giving everybody opportunities. And I'm going to trust Judge. I'm going to trust Colombo, and I'm going to trust the coaching staff to give Parrott an expanded role when they feel like they should. But I think you're going to see it sooner than later. I've consistently said I think it's going to be after the bye. I think that's when you're going to really start to see the younger players really get more of an opportunity. And I think that'll be the answer for Parrott. I don't know if Parrott will be the full-time starter coming out of the bye, but maybe him and Fleming switch, where Parrott's getting the majority of the snaps and Fleming's alternating. But I do think you're going to see Parrott get a more expanded role. Obviously, McKinney coming back, I think he'll progressively get a more expanded role as the weeks wear along. And I think you're going to start to see some of these younger players. Austin Mack, even with Tate on the roster, maybe he gets more of an expanded role as it goes along. That's what I think is going to happen over these last 6 games or so, after the Eagles game, after the bye, when they have 2 extra weeks to prepare.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I'd like to see Parrott start, but like you said, put Fleming in there, because Fleming ultimately is going to be the mentor on this offensive line. Apart from Zeitler, there's really no one with that many years under their belt. And of course, Zeitler is a guard. Fleming's been around the block longer. He's, I don't know if he's the best guy to be the mentor to a rookie tackle, because, he's obviously 50-50. But I mean, he has the experience. He can help Parrott. And I'm optimistic. I really like what's going on with this line. Obviously, you have the Zeitler debate, whether we should start Lemieux or Zeitler or Hernandez. But I think I have faith in the coaching staff. But as far as the right tackle goes, I think it should be Parrott. I think so.
Yeah, I think I think Hernandez is probably going to start this week. I think Lemieux maybe goes back to the bench, but they still sprinkle him in the lineup. And I think it's going to be the same story there. I think you're going to see Lemieux get more playing time as the season wears along. Maybe they start. And then I don't think they're going to completely take Zeitler out of it, but he starts to get less and less reps as the season goes on. That's what I expect. I'm going to let you go, George. Great supporter of mine. I know we've talked to my Discord before. You're always active on Twitter. I really appreciate all the support you always show my channel. And we'll talk soon, buddy.
Thanks, man. Go Giants. Let's get that win.
Let's get that W tomorrow, George. Wolfie, I'm going to get to you in 1 second, my man. I just want to read a couple of super chats. Chizolo, man, thank you so much. He says, we need to do good in the third quarter in this game. I'll even go one further, and I agree with you, Chizolo. A couple of areas where the New York Giants have really struggled, Chizolo, throughout the year. It's the 2-minute warning. At the end of the half, at the end of the game, they've really struggled there. The Giants, actually, there was an article. I didn't get a chance to read the whole thing today. where the Giants have actually been practicing on their 2-minute defense. I think Logan Ryan came out and talked about that. I think that's a huge key in this game. You got to close out the halves well, got to obviously close out the game well. But I'm with you, buddy. I think we got to get a full 4 quarters. We haven't gotten that all year. So we'll see if we're able to do it. You know, the Giants have given us a half. They've given us 2.5 quarters. We haven't gotten 4 quarters. To beat good teams, you got to give us 4 quarters, and we'll see if they can do it this week. Deception, thank you so much. I'm just going to read a couple more of these, and we're going to get to the caller. He says, what happened to Batiku? Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce his first name, but I know what you're talking about. It was the undrafted edge rusher that we picked up. He was actually on Kid Blue's channel. They had him on as a guest. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. LA Lou, man, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that, buddy. We cut him, though, at the beginning of the year. We cut him even before. We cut him early into the season. He didn't even make the. I don't even think he stayed on the roster that long into the shortened training camp. He was cut fairly quickly. He was one of the first guys cut. Lou, man, thank you very much, man. He says, I hear Jones's deficiencies as A, B, and C, but what hits me the most is when I see him is that he just doesn't have command of the game. He's not in control. And I think that's fair. I mean, the guy, listen, I'm not going to lie to you, Lou, and tell you that I'm completely confident in Jones, and I don't think Jones looks completely confident out there. And, hopefully he gets better as the year goes along. But I think it's fair. I mean, here's what I'll say, and I don't think this is abnormal for a young quarterback, but I don't have confidence in a big 2-minute drill with Daniel Jones. I'll tell you that right now. I'm hoping by the end of the year I could say that. We'll see. But I appreciate it, buddy. And let me just get a couple more. Man, thank you guys so much, man, for the incredible generosity. I really appreciate it. Sorry to keep you waiting, buddy. Peter says, how do I get on the call?
No problem.
Pete, it is booked, Pete. If you can't get on, I'm going to post a link here. It can only hold up to 10 people. But I'll make sure. I think you follow me on Twitter. I'm almost positive you do. The next time I do this next week, I'll have you on before I start the show. I'll make sure I get you on. If I can't get you on tonight, Pete. But there's the link. You can keep trying. If you can't get on tonight, I'll definitely get you on the next show. And Giselle, thank you very much, man. Chris, what do you think about Darnay Holmes? I like Darnay Holmes. I saw the stat today about Darnay Holmes. I think it was from PFF, Chisolo, where he is the only rookie cornerback in football that's been targeted more than 15 times, I think, that hasn't given up a touchdown. And I think he's been targeted about 35 or so. And his snaps have been progressively going up. I was looking at his snap count today, actually, after I saw that stat. And I think he played about 75% of the snaps last week. I think he played 70% or so the week before. Darnay Holmes starting to get an expanded role, and he's played pretty well, especially for a 4th-round pick. Somebody who's never played the slot before either. But Wolfie, what's going on? Sorry to keep you waiting, buddy.
Hey, man, no problem. What's up?
What's going on, man? What do you want to talk about?
I have a few things, Let's start with the offense first. And I don't want to talk about Jones. You're going to get a lot of questions of that. And I'm honestly kind of sick of talking about Jones, even though I don't think he's the answer. But I'm sick of talking about it. But one thing I want to talk about is Darius Slayton, all right? I think he will be a number 1 receiver when Jones stops looking at just Ingram. I feel like Garrett is likes the tight ends, obviously. He likes the tight end system. And he's trying to make Jones look for Ingram a little too much, kind of staring him down. And I feel like that's really hindering Slayton's ability. Because he gets open. He runs nice routes. He's not incredible, but he's definitely wide receiver 1 material, in my opinion. And I just think one of Jones's problems is that Garrett kind of wants him to look at Ingram too much because they say how he's such a great playmaker. That I feel like it gets in Jones' head a little bit. What do you think about that opinion?
I mean, that might be the case. I mean, listen, I knew going in. It's why I talked about it all offseason that the New York Giants were going to target the tight end a lot in this offense. You look at what they did with Jason Witten with the Dallas Cowboys, and that's what the Air Coryell system is known for. Maybe that has something to do with a little, Slayton get less looks than he did last year. I think another major reason why Slayton got as many looks as he did last year in comparison to this year, even though he didn't get a ton, but he got more. There was a lot of injuries on this offense last year at the wide receiver position. You had Tate suspended for 4 games. Shepard was out, even though we've had some injuries this year as well. I think that might have a little bit to do with it as well. But Slayton, I think he's still young. I think he's still inconsistent. He was inconsistent last year. He had 3 or 4 huge games, kind of like Daniel Jones, and the other games he was kind of pedestrian. And I think it's something similar this year. He's had 2 or 3 really big games. Outside of that, he hasn't done much. I'm not saying he can't be a number 1. Definitely not saying that because people would have said the same thing about Amani Toomer up to this point in his career, and he's the greatest New York Giants receiver in the history of the franchise. So I'm definitely not going to say he can't be a number 1. But I'm not ready to say that I'm confident in thinking he could be a number 1. I still think we definitely need to bring in a a guy that is probably a little bit more capable of being a number one if we're going to go via the draft.
I agree with you. I mean, he's no OBJ. I'll be honest with that. I mean, he doesn't have the quite talent, but I think he could be a solid number one. And on the
I like him.
defensive
I
side,
definitely like him.
the first person who was on, I don't remember his name. Who was the first person on again?
Nate.
Nate. Yeah, he said that Blake Martinez is a great middle linebacker one, but we need the coverage guy. And I absolutely agree. One guy I really love is Jeremiah Owusu Koromoa. I don't know how to pronounce his name. It's hard. From Notre Dame. He's like Isaiah Simmons, but less talented. More of like a he has a higher ceiling but lower higher floor, lower ceiling. Have you looked into him at all?
I watched Notre Dame. I know him. I do know him. I root for Notre Dame. I haven't read a lot of what the scouts say. He's a good player in college. Yeah, I mean, listen, that's what we need. Another guy that I was looking at in the draft this year that I would have been okay with the Giants drafting was Troy Dye. He's a little bit more undersized, kind of like a Simmons, but we need a player like that. We definitely need a coverage guy that can play at that linebacker spot. It may not be, somebody you draft in the first round. Maybe you could find him in the third, the fourth round. But I agree with you. That's something that you definitely got to be looking at. Maybe that's the player that we do bring in.
Because I think Koromoa it's like he's maybe early second at most, late first rounder. But I think he's exactly like the kind of guy where he's like versatile, side to side, not as high profile as like Micah Parsons or someone like that, but the kind of guy that would fit the system well and just plug and play, and you can trust him that he'll be solid.
Listen, I would not be upset if we went coverage linebacker in the second round. I would, I think a lot of it, again, I keep saying it, but it's the truth. I think a lot of it's going to depend on free agency as well. Do we bring in a wide receiver in free agency? Because I think we definitely got to be looking at a receiver also in this draft relatively early if we don't address it in free agency. But that's definitely one of our 3 or 4 biggest needs. There's no doubt about it. Corner, coverage linebacker. I personally, even though I would like an edge for sure, I don't think the Giants are going to put a premium on the edge.
I feel like the judges' system is going to be a lot of like getting sacks.
They're going to scheme.
They're
going to scheme it. They're going to scheme pass rush.
Yeah.
Much like the New England Patriots do.
Off like mixing people up, like flipping people from inside to out, but they want the coverage on the outside to be locked down and then get the pressure from that. Yeah,
absolutely. But Wolfie, before I let you go, because I got a lot of people, I want to get your final prediction on the score tomorrow.
Oh, absolutely. And I said I want to see them lose. Obviously, I don't not lose this game, but I want to see them not win the division because it's like 10 draft slots.
You're thinking draft pick. Yeah, because
I don't think we're gonna beat this year. But honestly, I do feel like we're gonna win this one by, I say 23-21.
I like it. That's about what I got it at. I think I got it at 20. I said 24-21. So I like it. I think it's gonna be a field goal game either way. So I like it. I think it'll be a close game. Wolfie, man, thank you so much for coming on, man. Thank you so much for being such a great supporter of the channel. I can't say thank you enough.
Hey, have a good day. I love your channel, man.
All right, buddy, man. Have a good one, my man. And that was Wolfie. Great supporter. Let me just we're going to bring on Indian Spices. I'm going to tell you to just wait for a second. I just want to read a couple of super chats. Nick, man, thank you so much, Nick. Absolutely. You're one of my best supporters. Same thing to you, as I said to Pete. Just remember to tell me because I'll forget. I go live so much. But just remember to tell me on Twitter. Drop it in the DM or on Instagram, on Twitter. Twitter's probably a little bit more effective. And I'll make sure to have you on in the quay before the show starts next time. And I'll get you on, Nick. And Hamza, man, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. My prediction, Giants 26, Eagles 22. Sounds like a lot of people got it right in that area. The low to mid 20s for either team. It sounds like that's where most people got this football game. And I tend to agree. I think that's where we're playing this game, kind of where the first one was, 22-21. And Corona Cowboy, thank you very much, man. Please beat the stinking Eagles. We're going to try our best to help you out, Corona Cowboy, as long as you guys return the favor. I really appreciate it, man. Whatever you call it, the QUE, Rich J, where they're in the waiting room. The waiting room. But what's going on, Indian Spice, man? Thanks for popping the stream, buddy. I think Indian Spices didn't know he was coming on. I think he fell asleep. I'm going to have to let you go, buddy. But we got Mr. Finesse coming on. Mr. Finesse, I'm going to get to you in 1 second. As soon as I pull you on, a couple people donate. Let me just get to those real quick. And then I'm excited to get to talk. I'm excited to get to talk to you, my man. Let's see what we got here. Dylan, man, thank you so much. He says, how do you feel about K1 and the Cardinals? Oh, you're talking about Kyler Murray? Is that who you're talking? Oh, that's probably his nickname. I think he's number 1. Listen, man, he finds ways to win games. Whenever I watch the Cardinals play, there's 3 or 4 or 5 throws when I watch the Cardinals play when I call a primetime game where I say, This guy, the guy doesn't have accuracy. He's making a horrible throw. But at the end of the day, the guy makes plays and the guy wins games. I cannot knock Kyler Murray. He's done a great job for the Cardinals this year. I still think they got a lot of holes on that team. I still think they're very beatable. Their defense is not that good. I still don't think they're going to do much in the playoffs, but they definitely have impressed me this year, and I think they're headed to the playoffs. They got a good, they got a good football team. They got a good future. AB, thank you so much, man. What's good, Chris? And congrats to you and Bad Dog for your 100 show. Keep it going and go Giants F the Eagles. Yeah, AB, man, I cannot believe we've done 100 shows. Feels like yesterday that we started that show, and I really appreciate it. And Christian, thank you so much. I'd rather have a playoff spot as a confidence booster for next season than a high draft pick. And you know what? It's just a matter of opinion. I tend to agree with you, Christian. I would much rather make the playoffs this year, even if we don't do any damage, start to build a winning culture and start to find ways to win some close football games. But what's going on, Mr. Finesse, man? Thanks for popping on, buddy.
Chris, what's up, brother? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. It's a pleasure getting to talk to you, man.
Well, let me start off with a salute to you, man, and your grind. You know what I'm saying? And the hard work you put in and the hours you put in, bro. You know, I know you work a 9 to 5 like myself. I'm a business owner. So to imagine doing what you're doing plus that, man, salute to you, bro. Thank you for everything you do. And your way, I'm gonna just say this. I much rather listen to your videos than listen to Lance Meadows on Giants.com. I'm gonna keep it real with you. But
wow,
I wanted to show
I
my
really
face.
appreciate that, man.
No, I'm dead ass serious. And I wanted to show
really
my
appreciate
face
it.
because you're talking a bunch of emojis and you're talking a bunch of icons while you're showing our face. Let's have a conversation like real Giants fans. You know what I'm saying? So
Let's do it.
let me say something based on what you just said. This is not why I called, though. This is not why I wanted to get on. But you just were talking about Kyler Murray. And I kind of feel the same way you feel. When I'm watching the games, right, with Arizona, they're 3-4 plays away from getting smoked. And then 3 or 4 plays away from where it's like, damn, that boy is talented. And to me, it's like almost the opposite of Daniel Jones this year, because it's like we're 3 or 4 plays away and he just ain't making the plays.
Yep.
So
You're absolutely right.
This is something I wanted to say. As far as for Giants fans, and salute to you for the putting Mike on to give me that Giovanni Bernard fantasy choice. But so it's on y'all if you don't do well. No, I'm just playing. But look, the Giants played the Steelers, who are an undefeated team, right? And we were on the 6-yard line and turned the ball over, which was the game. That was the game. Okay. The Giants played the Rams, right? And let's go back to that Steelers game. How did we turn the ball over? It was Daniel Jones turning the ball over. It's not a Daniel Jones bash.
Mhm.
I'm just in the factual things. So he turns the ball over twice in that game, right? We wound up losing that game, a game we shouldn't have lost. All right, the 49ers smoked us, so I'm not talking about that game. That's a game we lost fine. And they really didn't smoke us. That was more of a second half. Anyway, they smoked us.
Well, I'll
Now
tell you
you
what, the play that killed that game was Ingram dropping the pitch. Like
So
as soon as he dropped the
that's
pitch,
my
all the air
point.
came out
That
of the
was-
tires.
I didn't want to harp on that, but that was my point. It wasn't like they really smoked us, but we were right there. And then it was, again, back to the Kyler Murray thing, it was the play not being made that kind of cost us. Now you go to the Rams, you go to the Bears, you go to the last Eagles game, the Dallas game. The Giants very easily could have a flip record. Very easily. If the plays were made. Now, do I say that means that Daniel Jones sucks? No. See, I know I look 20, but I'm actually 40.
You don't look a day over 12. You don't look a day over 12.
Well, damn.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding with you. I'm kidding.
But so I saw, and I ain't gonna hold you all night. I want other people to get in, unlike some of these people. The Giants in '86 had a great defense. Phil Simms was a good quarterback. He was not the best. We won a Super Bowl. In 1990, again, the Giants had a great defense. Then our starting quarterback got hurt. And we won the Super Bowl with the backup. Imagine what I'm saying. We won the Super Bowl in '90 with a backup.
Hostetler, baby.
I know. Kerry Collins. I saw all this with my own eyes. This wasn't my uncle's story.
I know.
Kerry Collins comes in 2000. Did I think we were going to smoke the Vikings like we did? Absolutely not. But we did. Went to the Super Bowl, lost to the Ravens. Eli Manning, 2007. By the Vikings game, when he threw the 5 picks, we were ready to run him out of town. 6 weeks later, we were Super Bowl champions. My point is, it's not as if, and so for the young Giants fans who are under 30, there is no, they win every 4 years. That is not true. Okay, the Giants sucked from 1991 through the Kent Graham and the Dave Brown. They sucked.
Oh.
Yeah, they made the playoffs here and there, but they sucked.
Yeah, they gave you 93, 97, but you're right. They were completely inconsistent.
My point to you is that if the Giants, and this is why I sent the super chat earlier, I didn't say to you lose games. What I said is don't be such an emotional person and think with your head. Last year, winning, and let's go the year before. Last year, beating Washington in that last game did zero for the psyche of the team. It did zero for the production of the team, and it didn't help where we were to get better players. Now, I remember I was at Bowl Campers watching that game, and I was saying, why the fuck are you trying to win? And there were guys there, you're not a real fan. You're not a real fan. I said, no, I'm a real fan. I'm just not an emotional fan because you're only going to feel good after this win. But when draft day comes and we're 2 picks behind or 3 picks behind what we could have gotten, not in the first round, but in the second round and the third round, it is going to make a major difference. And now you got people today telling you that Andrew Thomas was a bust, right? So that tells me you're not even satisfied with that pick. But I bet
that I'll fight on. I do
don't
not
agree with it either.
Yeah,
what I'm telling you is these are the emotions of the fan. You're so emotional that right now you're saying Andrew Thomas was a bust. But those are the same people who last year said win the Washington game. So my point is, if the Giants are in it like they are right now, even at 2-7, then yes, I want to see them win. Yes, I do. But let's say they lose next week. Now you're damn near 3 games behind the Eagles. Right? And do I think they're going to beat Baltimore, Arizona,
Seattle.
Cleveland, Seattle? Do I think they can? Yes. Do I think they will? I don't know. So we got to win the games that are winnable, which is Philadelphia, which is Cincinnati, which is Cleveland. And I could see, because if you look at the schedule,
too. I think Dallas is very
Dallas too. And I'm stupid enough to do this. I look at the schedule all the way going down. The Eagles don't have an easy way going forward. They can very, 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 very likely lose 3 in a row to put us in a position where coming back from the bye week to play Cincinnati, we could very well be playing to tie first place. So, yes, I'm all in right now with the Giants. But I'm also realistic. The only team we beat was Washington. The teams we should have beat, we didn't beat. And there's been one common denominator each week. These are the common denominator.
3 plays.
That's all.
But you said at the time. No, you're right. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
You're talking about a defense who is not even. They've given up 30 points. Twice this year? So it's not the D. And going into the year, we thought it would be the D. It's not the D. Daniel Jones cannot turn the ball over 2 times a game.
Can't do it. I agree with that. I completely agree with that.
And that's the difference between us catching the W's and the L's, because timing and momentum is so crucial in a game like this. You know, we see the coaching. We see they're playing hard. We see without the talent, they're still in the game. So if we just don't make the mistakes, right now, I'm talking about this year, 2020, if we just don't make the mistakes, they can win games. Now, going into next year, if we don't make the mistakes and add talent, we could do more than just win games. That's all I'm saying, Chris. You know, and
hey, man,
to you, bro, again.
I love the conversation, man. Love the conversation.
I know, man, but I don't want to hold up because I want other people to get on, man. I appreciate you taking my call. I appreciate you letting me beam in. Keep grinding, bro. Salute to the Giants. Salute to you, my brother. And I'm going to get off on this. I've been rocking with you for a while, but since before you had the beginning intro that was a little different than the one you're playing now. And the DeAndre Baker coverage you did, as opposed, and I'm not saying nobody's name, as opposed to about 7 other Giants channels, it showed me something different about you as a man, scratch the Giants, as a man with integrity, as what I saw that kind of revealed itself in that. So salute to you, bro. Let's go, Big Blue. Chris, keep doing your thing, and I'm sub heavy, and I'm gonna keep checking your videos. And when you do live, I'll be on sending you super chats.
I really appreciate that, man. Thank you for being a great supporter, man.
Hey, man.
Great conversation.
Let's go.
It was a pleasure getting to talk to you, man. It was a pleasure getting to talk to you. Have a good one, my man. Be good. All right. Lou, I'm going to pull you on. Actually, I'll pull you on now. I'm just going to read the super chat real quick.
Oh.
Good, I get to see somebody else's face. What's up, Lou? Cody Collins, man. Thank you so much, Cody Collins. Says, here's $7 for your birthday. You'll get 8 next year. I'm going to B-Dubs tomorrow with a dirty, scummy Eagles fan to watch the game. Shaking my head. Wish me luck. Cody Collins, man, thank you so much for being a great supporter. And, hopefully you enjoy the game at Buffalo Wild Wings. We get a W. But what's going on, Lou, man? Thanks for popping on, buddy.
What's going on, buddy? You probably know me more as ISOW.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. No, man, I've been watching you here for a few months, man. I try to comment as much as I can. Been a Giants fan since about 85, so that should let you know about how old I am. I'm kind of up there. No, I agree with you 100%. I think Gettleman stays. I think we need to see way more out of Daniel Jones as far as decision-making and ball protection. I think our defense is very stout. We can use a very good edge rusher, maybe another lockdown corner, like you said, and that would put our defense over the top, if you ask me. But Evan Ingram is killing us. Evan Ingram is killing us. I was so stoked when we got him, but God, man.
I want to root for Evan Ingram. I really do. He seems like a really good locker room guy, but at the end of the day, the Evan Ingram pick never made any sense. And I always go back to that pick. And obviously the Eric Flowers pick was worse. The Eli Apple pick was worse. But in terms of the sense, I understood it. You needed a corner, you needed a tackle. We drafted a tight end who couldn't block for a team that had no offensive line. We didn't have a pass rush. It was the worst pick the New York Giants could have made in that draft. It's nothing against Evan Ingram. We didn't have the luxury of being able to afford a playmaking tight end who can't block. And Evan Ingram is athletic. He can get open. He's a mismatch. Since he's been in the NFL, he's had drop problems. He leads the NFL in drops this year. He had a ton of drops his rookie year, even when he led the team in receiving yards. And I fear, and I'm not even talking about the injury problems that the guy's had. The guy missed almost a season's worth of games throughout his career before this year started. I fear that the guy's never going to get better at that. You're talking 4 years now where the guy's had drop problems.
Yeah, and even with because I've had this conversation with guys who would make the case that, well, he's gone through 2 schemes or 3 schemes in the short amount of time that he's been here. That has nothing to do with you catching the ball.
Yeah. Yeah.
And people make excuses. Oh, well, he's 3 different offensive schemes. Your hands catch the ball no matter what scheme you're playing in.
Well, his hands don't.
Right. That's the problem.
Yeah. So let me get your thoughts on Jones. That's obviously a huge topic of conversation. Second-year quarterback. What do you think of Daniel?
Man, to be honest with you, I never thought Eli was the problem. I thought Eli's arm was he was losing a little bit of oomph on it, but the line was the problem to begin with. We proved it in the Super Bowl that you can have Tom Brady back there, but if that line gets to him and he has no time for his receivers' routes to develop, and he has no time to get through his progression and check his second, third, and fourth read, it doesn't matter who's quarterback. If you apply the right amount of pressure, you can make Tom Brady look like Mark Sanchez. So, we proved that. But when Eli's last 3, I would say 5 seasons, we had no more offensive line.
Yeah.
You were expecting this guy to get the ball out of his hands in 1.5 seconds.
And then those same fans that said that Eli was always the problem complained that he checked the ball down. Well, duh. The guy has no time for the routes to develop. He's got to get the ball out of his hand because he's going to get killed because Eric Flowers is a traffic cone. The guy can't block anybody. So I agree with you. I'm not saying that Eli Manning didn't regress. He got older. I'm not saying he was the same quarterback. I'm not saying that he wasn't scared in the pocket because who wouldn't be scared without that team block?
His knowledge of the game would have made a big difference.
Still there. But he was never the primary problem, ever. And I think you're starting to see that because the same things that were the problem for Eli Manning have been the problem for Daniel Jones. Now the offensive line is definitely getting better, and I think now we're going to really get a better read on Daniel Jones over these last 7 games with the way that the offensive line's progressed, and hopefully he can be more of a game manager and not turn the football over. The offensive line is really encouraged me over the last 3 or 4 weeks.
Yes, especially when Shane Lemieux stepped in and held it down.
Now, okay, let's talk about that. Would you go with Lemieux? Would you start him again, or would you put Hernandez back in the lineup?
I would start him at least the first half just to light a fire under Hernandez to let him know, hey, you could lose your job if you don't get better. Yeah. And just to boost up Shane Lemieux's confidence and let him know, hey, you know what? These guys believe in me. Maybe I am cut out for this. Maybe I can do this.
Yeah. That might be what they decide to do. I think they're going to do the same thing at the guard spot they've been doing at the tackle spot. I think they're going to shift guys in, and I think they're going to give everybody some kind of opportunity. But I want to see Hernandez back on the field. I believe in Hernandez. A lot of people have been bashing Hernandez, and I get it. because the offensive line has looked good since he went out with the virus. I actually thought Hernandez was playing pretty well the 2 or 3 weeks before he went out with the virus. I still think Hernandez could be a good guard, but I do definitely understand wanting. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I agree with you. The last 3 or 4 weeks, he was better. His first couple weeks this season, it seemed like he had regressed. But here before he got the corona, he started to play better, and the line started to come together and get more cohesive.
Yeah, it was really that Rams game, the second half, where you really started to see them improve. I just want to say hello to Baruch, man. Thank you for being a member, man. What's going on, buddy? Thanks for popping in the stream. But I got a lot of people waiting. I want to get we didn't talk a lot about the game tomorrow. I want to get your take on the game tomorrow. Give me the 3 keys to this game for the New York Giants, in your opinion, to win this football game.
Okay. Key number 1 is something that we've been doing for the last few weeks. Our time of possession, keeping the ball out of the other offense's hands, has been tremendous for us these last few weeks. I really like Joe Judge. I like the way the team is fighting for him. I like the way he's scheming up and using different players and different personnel for different things. I think the 3 keys are the time of possession, no turnovers, and we've got to score. We can't keep getting down to the red zone and kicking field goals. We need touchdowns. We need to keep the time of possession, and we need to tighten up on the defense. Even though our defense has been doing good, a few more takeaways and points off of those turnovers, and no field goals for us, touchdowns.
Turnover free, convert what you get down in the red zone and chew up the clock. It's basic strategy, but that's what wins football games. Lou, man, I just want to say thank you so much for coming on, buddy. Thank you for being a great supporter. And I love your jersey, by the way. Let's get a W.
Hey, thank you. Hey, listen, I'm new to this whole YouTube stuff. I just started my channel too.
I know you had a channel. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I have a channel. It's not a football channel. I did want to do that as well, but I'll leave that to the pros such as yourself. No, really, I'm a big fan. I tune in as much as I can. And if you can, send me some information on how I can join the super chat and donate.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, if just type it in the comments after the stream, and I'll let you know, buddy.
All right, no problem.
All right, Lou,
Good
man.
to hear from you, man. Thank you for having me on.
You got it, man. Thank you so much for coming on, my man. All right. The next guy we got coming on, we've got a long time. If you got, if you're a newer subscriber to my channel, you may not know who Bobby is.
And look who's here.
There's Seahawk. You may not know who Bobby is. Let me just explain the story of Bobby, and then we're gonna get into Bobby. Bobby has been with my channel for a very long time. And anytime I had a call-in show, Bobby would be the first one. I would always have to tell the chat, Bobby, when I started the call-in show, don't call in. Bobby would be calling in as soon as I started the show. He didn't care. He had to be the first one on. Bobby, I appreciate you for coming on. Thank you for being a great supporter of the channel. Let's talk New York Giants football.
Yes, I'm happy about the defense this year. I think they're a lot better than the defense from last year. Who did we have as a defense coordinator last year? He sucked.
James Betcher.
He stinks. Who's the new guy now?
Patrick Graham.
He's very good. Where did we get him from?
Patrick Graham. He was with the Miami Dolphins last year. He actually coached on the Patriots with Judge. He also coached at Green Bay. He was the DC last year for Miami. And then we actually took a lot of coaches from Miami. He was one of them. We took him. And we took Shaplinski, the quarterback coach. But Patrick Graham's made a world of difference for the defense.
I think the Giants' defense is playing a lot better. They're getting sacks, they're getting turnovers. Not like last year. We didn't get any sacks or turnovers last year. That position.
Listen, you look at the turnover differential last year. We're minus 17. This year we're even. That's been one of the biggest differences as to why we're competing in football games.
Mm-hmm. And I agree with you with Daniel Jones, but at the beginning of the year, I wanted somebody else from last year.
What do you mean?
Remember who the Jets had last year?
What are you talking about, a quarterback?
Yeah.
Sam Darnold?
No, not him. No. Who did the Jets have that we could?
Joe Flacco?
No. He went to the Saints last year. Now he's playing in Carolina.
Bobby, you're losing me here. He was
Carolina.
You're talking about Teddy Bridgewater.
Yes.
You wanted Teddy Bridgewater.
He's playing excellent now.
Teddy Bridgewater's played really well for Carolina.
I would have picked him up if I was a GM. I would have picked him up.
I wouldn't have been upset bringing in Bridgewater. If they wanted a short stopgap quarterback to move on from Eli Manning, I wouldn't have been against that.
Just to help Daniel Jones out. He's still young. That's what I was getting mad at because he was right there at Giant Stadium, MetLife Stadium. Oop, look who they went to, the Saints. So
Yeah.
that was a dumb move. If I was GM, I would have picked him up.
So it sounds like you're giving up. It sounds like you're giving up on Jones.
No, okay. He's playing better now, like you guys said. He's getting better now.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the year, he's getting better. He's not turning well. He didn't turn over this. So, yeah, I think the Giants will win this week. The score will be 24-17.
I like it. I like the optimism. So you think we get out of there with a win? And what do you think? What do you think of Judge so far, Bobby? What do you think of the new head coach?
I think he's a smart guy. I think he's a lot better than we had Doofus last year.
Pat Shermer.
Yeah, he was a doofus head. He is doofus.
You hear that, guys, in the chat? Pat, that's why he got fired. He was a doofus head.
Yeah, he was. The Clapper's getting a lot better in his calling now too. Clapper, I didn't like him at the beginning because I thought the Giants were going to get all clapped this year.
Yeah,
disease the clap, you know.
Oh, you're talking about Garrett? Yeah, the OC. Yeah,
he's getting a lot better at calling. I'm telling you, they're coming up with good plays. The running is improving too. The offensive line has improved too. I forgot to tell you that, and the running is improving from last year. We didn't have a running game last year at all.
Well, the running game has gotten dramatically better, and that's
I like that guy Freeman. I wish he didn't get hurt. The other guy we picked up is pretty good. What's his name? We just picked up
Alfred Morris. We picked up. Wayne Gallman's been on the team, but he's getting more.
Played for the Dallas Cowgirls, though. That was his only problem.
Bobby, so you got the Giants by 7.
Yeah.
And before I let you go, because I got a lot of people waiting.
Oh, I know.
You think this team's going to the playoffs?
I hope so. If they, the Eagles really have a bit. I don't think they'll beat Baltimore. There's no way they're going to beat Baltimore. I think they're going down. The smelly Eagles. I hate the Eagles with a passion.
We'll see, buddy. We'll see. But Bobby, I want to
remember what they did to Michael Irvin when he the last game he played in. The fans booed him. Remember?
Listen, they boo everybody. They booed Andy Reid.
They didn't boo him. They clapped for him to get injured. I mean, remember that game?
Well, that's what they do. I mean, they're a disgrace of a fan base. We know that.
Yes, they are very disgraced. But the other one I like is Philly 500.
Philly 500 is great. Philly 500 is great. But Bobby, man, thank you so much for coming on. I'm going to get to the next guy. But
thank you for having me on. I haven't talked to you in ages. I don't know how long.
I was glad to get to talk to you, Bobby. Have a good one, man. All right, that was Bobby Woodruff. We got Jake, then we got Authentic on deck, then we got Mr. Mini Guy. Samuel, man, thank you so much. He says, smoking him? Well, I got him. Smoke a kush tonight. Smoke the Eagles tomorrow. Blessed to spend my Saturday night with you. By the way, Riley Dixon, best player. Riley Dixon was phenomenal last year. He's been good. The special teams in general. Gano's been great, too. Gano's probably been our best player, sad as that may be. But what's going on, Jake Thomas, man? Thanks for popping in the stream, buddy.
Chris, great to hear from you, man. How you doing tonight?
I'm glad to get to have you on the channel, man. You're a great supporter of mine, and let's talk some Giants football.
Yeah, sure. One of the things I was thinking about is with McKinney coming back, hopefully soon. What will be the responsibility of Logan Ryan other than mentor? Clearly, they're going to try to do some sort of rotation, similar to what they've been doing with the offensive line. Would be my expectation. So, my thought is, do they move Logan Ryan back over to the CB2 position and have him play across from, similar to what he was doing with Malcolm Butler in Tennessee?
That is it. I personally, I don't know if they're going to do it exclusively, but I do think that it's very possible with how poor that second cornerback's been, and it's going to be a crowded secondary when you do bring McKinney back. Now, I'm interested to see how much they play McKinney starting out. They may ease him into the lineup. Maybe he only gets 35, 40% of the snap the first game, and then you ease him back in. But definitely by the last 4 or 5 games, I could definitely see them at least experimenting with Ryan on the outside. Maybe Love on the outside. Maybe Holmes on the outside. I could definitely see them experimenting and putting one of these guys for sure in that cornerback 2 position because, I mean, right now, Ryan Lewis ain't getting the job done. The guys that we got that are playing over there are not getting the job done. Yadam, Ryan Lewis. It's been dreadful.
And Valentine out the door now too. You hate to see a young guy go, especially someone who has been gone through as much as he has as far as road in the NFL. But clearly he wasn't getting the job done, and I'm happy to see him playing with the wrong side of New York now.
Yeah, for sure. I want to say I try to shout out all my subscribers when I see them. It's tough when I'm doing a call-in show, but New York Giants and all my streams. Thank you for popping in, buddy. Afghanistan as well, man. Thank you for being here, man. I appreciate it. But yeah, let's talk about this game. And I tend to agree with you. I do think Logan Ryan, there's a good possibility we'll be playing on the outside, and I think we definitely need to bring him back, at least on a 1-year contract next year. I think he's a leader
Based
on
on
this
leadership
defense
alone. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, leadership alone. But let's talk about this game against the Eagles. Last time we played them, we lose by 11. We were up by 11. We end up losing the game by 1. Give me your thought process on this game. Break it down for me. Give me the keys to this game, and do you think the New York Giants are going to come out with a victory?
Well, it's similar to what Sterling Shepard said last week. The key word being finish. They came out so strong against the Eagles, and that and it really did feel like we had that game in hand almost the entire way until you hit that last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter. And the entire game, you look at it, especially coming out of halftime, you go, oh my God, the Giants are really going to blow this game again. You just felt it. You knew it was going to come. And the key is going to just be finish. The defensive keys are going to be there. It's going to come down to finding our identity this week. And I really do feel like the identity is more than what Joe Judge has been preaching as far as, being this hard-nosed, football team that reflects the New York area. I think more of it is going to be about being the most technically secure team that exists in the NFL. And I see us sort of, looking at a team like the Steelers as being the benchmark, as being the goal. So, you look at them and how technically sound they've been, and it makes me feel like that is the goal as far as where we're heading as a defense again, and just looking at things fundamentally. So it's going to come down to the fundamentals. If we want to break this streak, if we want to finally put the Eagles back where they belong, we have to do the little things right, and the big things happen. And
we got to close out the game. Exactly what you said. I got a question for you, because I see a lot of people talking about it in the chat, and I just noticed it. Is that your foot, or are you the guy rubbing the foot?
I work as an athletic trainer. I've worked in the
I'm just
setting,
messing with
and
you.
I work now. Yeah, hey, I get it, man. I get it. I do get that a lot. So that is not my foot. If it makes you feel better, I don't think I'm that flexible to make that happen.
But I'm with you, man. I think that's the key to this game. It's what Tom Coughlin said the year we won the Super Bowl. Got to finish. And this is a team that has not been able to finish games. There's 3 or 4 games this year where it came down that last drive. We needed to play here, play there. Last week we did it. The defense made the plays when they needed to be. Both wins we've had, the defense made the plays when they needed to be made. The pickup for the scoop and score, and then this week we came up with 2 turnovers. But I think the offense has to play smart like they did last week, but they're going to have to convert and score touchdowns when they get in the red zone.
Absolutely. And the key is you can't rely on 5 turnovers to win a game for you. That's not realistic. The turnover differential is going to be the most important part. Ball security on Daniel Jones's part. And I swear to God, if I see Evan Ingram tip another ball that gets picked off, I'm going to lose my damn mind.
Oh, he's been the worst. He's been the worst this year. I was trying to prop him up this year.
You. I really do feel like he needs the right people behind him. And I really thought Freddie Kitchens was going to be able to do a little bit more with him. And I don't know who we have to get in there to fix his drop problem, or how many reps he needs to take in front of a jugs machine, or if he needs a freaking psychiatrist at this point. But I really am behind him. I wish him the best. Regardless of when his time with the Giants is over, whether or not we get him back on a cheap deal and have him just be a continued piece. I love the creativity they've been doing. Hand the ball off to him, use the end arounds, get him involved as much as possible, because the guy's a friggin' athlete. So I love to see them trying to work him into the game plan. And man, if we gotta, I'll start a fund if we can get this guy a psychiatrist. I'm sure we can fix his problems.
Maybe get him like stick him. Maybe we could send him some money to get like glue on his hands or something. He's got to catch the football.
It's a lot cheaper than the medical bills, I'll tell you that.
But Jake, give me a final score before I let you go.
Man, I know I'm going to take it in the chat for this one, but I really do feel like this is going to be a breakout game for 2 people, and I think it's going to be Dan Jones and Darius Slayton. My prediction for tomorrow is going to be 35-24 Giants.
35 points. You got how many touchdowns Jones throw?
Jones is only going to throw 2 touchdowns. The rest is going to be done through the run game and end arounds.
Love it. I love the optimism. And hopefully you're right. Hopefully the Giants give us 4 quarters and we win this game by double digits. That'd be nice. But
Hey, man,
Jake, man,
someone's got to take the over.
Jake, man, I want to say thank you so much for coming on. And thank you so much for being a great supporter of the channel.
Absolute pleasure, Chris. Thanks for having me on. I hope to talk to you soon.
You got it, buddy. Have a good one. All right. So, guys, we found out I'm about to bring on a great supporter of mine. He's got a great YouTube channel as well. But we found out there in that conversation that it was not his foot. He was the guy doing the rubbing. Authentic, what's going on, man? Glad to see you on the channel, buddy.
Tana, what's going on, man? How you living?
I'm living good. Well, we'll be living a lot better tomorrow if the Giants get a win. But, before we get started, I just want to say if anybody has not subscribed to Authentic in the Beard, I say it all the time, he supported me from the beginning. When I had like 100 subscribers, he was in all my streams, had a lot of fun. I always try to support him whenever I can. He's a great guy. Go on over there, subscribe to Authentic. Always love talking to you.
Appreciate that, man. Yeah, you definitely deliver some fire content, man. So, you got to just give it up when props is due for sure, man.
Let's get
into
this game.
I want to talk about Daniel Jones, man. I want to talk about Daniel Jones.
Let's do it.
I just think Giants fans need to be a little bit patient. I don't know who the caller was that was outside, who started his interview with you outside. But he dropped some gems, man. Shout out to the OGs, back to back, dropping gems about Giants football. And he named the 4 quarterbacks that won Super Bowls or went to Super Bowls with the Giants. And all those guys he named, man, none of those guys were at the top of the league when they won Super Bowls or went to the Super Bowl. I'm in that age bracket, so I remember a lot of those Super Bowls post from 1990 and on. I remember those Super Bowls. So, when you talk about Phil Simms, Jeff Hostetler, Kerry Collins, Eli Manning, none of those guys have been top of the league. And even quarterbacks that excel
except for 2011, Eli was top of the league.
He was top of the league, and I still think there were some doubters there as well. As
there
Giants
were,
fans,
there were.
I'll say that we would say Eli was at the top of the league, but there were still doubters, I feel like, in the league. And as far as the quarterbacks who are at the top of the league, removing Patrick Mahomes, who I feel like is just a freak of nature, different kind of quarterback, Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson, who each only have a Super Bowl, is proof that this is a team game. And Russell Wilson will tell you that on that goal line play that they ran, that this is a team game. And I feel like Marshawn Lynch got them back in that game, even when they were pretty out of that Super Bowl. He got them back in that game. And it just shows you that it's just a team game. I think that Daniel Jones is a piece that you can utilize him correctly when you put the talent around him. And I brought up Aaron Rodgers to talk about that as well, too, because Aaron Rodgers has been lacking the pieces and the weapons as well. He's got Devontae Adams over there, but to me, that's nothing in comparison to when he had Donald Driver and when he had Greg Jennings over there.
I'll tell you what, man, you hit a lot of it on the head. Aaron Rodgers, to me, it is a crime that guy's only got 1 Super Bowl, but a lot of it is exactly what you said. They never really supported him with the team. He's had a good offensive line in recent years, but in terms of an overall offense, he hasn't had the weaponry. And I think back to other Super Bowls, and you're talking about game managers, and some people hear the name and say, what are you talking about? Peyton Manning in 2015 was a game manager.
Big time.
He was the definition of a game manager. But he was statistically the worst quarterback in football that year. It was a mere, I remember, can't remember the name of the backup up the top. Was it Osweiler? Was he the backup on that team? I can't remember. But he came in, he actually played well. And then there was a debate about whether or not they should bring Manning back in, and the defense carried them that year. You can win Super Bowl. That year, Newton was by far the best quarterback in football. Peyton beat him when he was in a wheelchair because the Broncos defense was so dominant. You could win Super Bowls with a quarterback that could make the – that's what Eli was in 2008 at least. Mm-hmm. He was a quarterback that made plays when they needed to be made. And during that Super Bowl run, he didn't make mistakes, and he made the plays when they needed to be made. Whether or not Daniel Jones will be that guy, I don't know yet. But if we could provide him with a team and he matures, yeah, I think you could win football games with Daniel Jones. I don't doubt that.
Yeah, and I'm glad you excuse me, I'm glad you brought up offensive line because I think that's very important. When you look at these guys who excel, Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson, I'll talk about them both. They both trust their line a certain way where when they make these quick, decisive cuts in the pocket, they know that they're going to have leverage over these defenders that are coming at them. In the case of Daniel Jones right now, there's not the trust is just not there with the offensive line fully, but we have seen it grow in the last couple of games. I'd say he's looking a lot less in panic mode, the last 4 games than he did at the beginning of the season, where it seemed like when pressure would come barreling down his back, you almost see his mind freeze trying to think what he's going to do to make the play next. So I just think it's good that this offensive line is young. And I mean, even with Zeitler being a little bit up there, but I like the youth in this offensive line. I think they can build that around Daniel Jones, and as a core, they could build that chemistry possibly. And then you'll see a different kind of Daniel Jones, because Daniel Jones is very quick. He is a faster style quarterback, but you're seeing the mental play be very slow in the pocket, kind of. You know what I mean? So I think once he gets the mental in sync with what he can do physically on the field, then we can see a better quarterback out of him. And I just think he has the intangibles. I think he has the skill set to be able to win games higher than the Eli Manning, I think. I mean, Eli had the arm for sure, but I will say that when you just see these two guys with the eye test play, Daniel Jones with the running capabilities, what he has at RPO, if he could clean up what he's doing in the pass game, I could see him being a quarterback for the Giants for the next 5 to 10 years.
I hope so. Eli definitely had a stronger arm. I'm not going to debate the mobility. It's not even close. Eli Manning had 2 left feet. But, Daniel Jones has got to become a smarter quarterback. There's no doubt about it. He's got to learn how to read defense, and I think he can. The guy's a hard worker. We've known that from the start. I thought he would struggle coming out this year. I keep saying I didn't think it'd be this bad, but I thought he would struggle. I definitely thought he'd struggle the first 4 or 5 games, and I think he will improve. That's why I keep saying I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. It's what I said with the offensive line. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. We saw the offensive line get better. I think you're going to see Jones get better over the second half of the season. And I think by the end of the year, Giants fans are going to say, okay, I feel at least somewhat comfortable giving this guy another year to see if he can grow and progress. I do think he's going to play much better over these last 7 games. I do also think you hit it on the head. I think he's thinking too much. I think he's thinking way too much back there in the pocket. He's not playing football. He's not reacting. He's thinking too much. I completely agree with you on that.
Yeah, and that might be just getting adjusted to the speed of the game. And maybe Pat Shurmur's offense was just a little bit more suited for him to be able to make those quicker decisions. And it just looked, football is a lot of luck at the same time too, and just people being in sync and on the same page. And maybe just last year we saw a little bit more of that. But the fumble issue is definitely an issue that I've seen him clean up this year. It's good to see him get popped on that play last week and hold on to the ball. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that Giants fans want to see. You want to see the mistakes just be limited. And I think Daniel has all the tools, man. I'm ready to see him just take it into year 3, finish out year 2 proper, because he shot himself in the foot in the beginning of the year. He dug himself a hole with the turnovers. If he could just clean that up, for these last couple games here, going to next year, I'd like to see him get his chance next year. I think he will. Same thing with Dave Gettleman. I think that they'll both get their chance. And by week 8, week 9 next year, we'll see how things are looking. If Daniel Jones still has a major turnover problem, then I think the Giants are going to have to address that. But as a young rookie quarterback, second-year quarterback like that, give him his time to develop at least, and quit the comparisons of what is happening with other quarterbacks in the league, because the situations are all different. This defense, nobody thought this defense was going to be good, and look how they flipped the coin on us. This defense came out balled out. So, just get a kid some time.
Listen, I think there is no position in all sports that is more dependent on the players around him than the quarterback position. And it's why it's so hard to compare quarterbacks on different teams. Like as Giants fans, we say it all the time with Dak Prescott. Yeah, Dak Prescott put some great numbers, but put Eli Manning on that team 2 or 3 years ago, he'd probably put up good numbers. Yeah. It's very hard to compare, and you're right. His situation, especially to start the year when the offensive line was playing the way that it was, is awful. You gave him a completely new scheme, everything else. He was behind the 8 ball. Barkley goes down. He doesn't have great weapons. I do think we got to be a little more patient with him. That's my opinion on it. I'm not saying he's the answer. I don't know yet. But I definitely need to see these next 7 games and evaluate him that way.
Definitely. And you got to take in consideration the running game with the New York Giants, has been very lackluster. Daniel Jones being our leading rusher. So, if he had a running back to rely on, that would definitely help him out. If you go and compare the numbers that Daniel Jones has with Saquon Barkley in the game, his numbers are totally different than when Saquon Barkley has been out of the game.
Saquon Barkley changed the offense.
Yeah.
But I want to get into this game here tomorrow between the Eagles. Last time we played them, I don't remember who you picked in the game the first time.
I picked the Giants, and I guaranteed a victory in that last game. And, man, I was feeling real good up until that fourth quarter, man. I
were
was
both looking real
the
smart
game.
there with 5 minutes to go. I think every Giants fan in this chat was feeling real good with 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, that we should have got that W. That's one we let get away. And I think this is a revenge game for Joe Judge. I think he's going to come out here and try to do everything in his power to make this team win this game. I think he's taking this one personal. And it's just a big game. If the Giants win this game, we're right back in the mix, half a game back. That would be amazing.
We'll see. I got the Giants by about a field goal. I'm going to let you go because I got like a bunch of people and it's getting late. But if you guys have not done so, again, if one of my mods could put Authentic's link in the chat, I'd appreciate it. Going over there, check him out. He's got a great NFC's podcast. He deserves a lot more subscribers than he has. Going over there, check him out. Thank you for coming on the channel, my man.
Let me give you a
and
score before I
see you in
dip
the
out.
stream.
Let me give you a score
let me get the
before I
score.
dip out. I'm gonna go 31-16 Giants. Limit the penalties, limit the mistakes, finish strong before the half.
Authentic isn't just saying we're gonna win. And I thought the last caller was predicted big.
I like
You
the
got us
last
winning.
caller.
You got us doubling them up. You got us doubling them up, and I hope you're right, man. That would be a signature win.
Yeah, that'll be nice. We're gonna see. I'll be in your stream, man, for that game for sure.
All right, my man. I'll see you tomorrow, buddy.
All right, Joe. Peace.
All right, that was Authentic. Great guy. And Mr. Finesse, man, thank you very much, man. Salute to Authentic. We're on the same page. What's his channel? It's called Authentic and the Beard. And it's spelled just like you, Authentic and the Beard. He does a NFC's podcast with two of his friends. He actually lives in the Washington, D.C. area. I think he grew up there. I think I remember him telling me that. So he's been surrounded by Washington football fans his entire life. Mr. Mini Guy, I had you on last time we did this, and you're a great supporter of my channel as well. You got the Giants hat on. I know you're ready for tomorrow.
Yes, I am. Just beat the Eagles. Last time I was on, I was really awkward because I kind of just came on just randomly, so I want to apologize for that. And I already know what you're gonna say. You never have to apologize, my man.
Never apologize.
See, there you go. I knew you were gonna say it again. But yeah. So, a couple of things I want to talk about. I'm gonna try to make this fast because I know there are a lot of people in here. Daniel Jones cannot turn the ball over, and every single time this happens every single week. The second half, the Giants always let up and they always find some way to lose a game. Giants can't put together a good drive. Defense stays out there for too long because they get tired and they'll eventually break. Giants lose. That can't happen. That can't happen. It always happens. It has to stop happening, and I really do think it's gonna stop happening with the Eagles.
I sure hope so, man. I love your optimism. And I agree. I think for people to fully buy into this team, we can no longer see 2 great quarters. We need to see 4 or at least 3 great quarters. We need to see a full football game where the New York Giants just don't completely shut down in a quarter or a half. And if they do that in this game, they're not going to win. We saw that last time. We thought the game was over. Then the defense shut down. They gave up the 60-yard pass to Carson Wentz. Evan Ingram drops the ball, and we know the rest of it. And we haven't been able to beat this team in forever. So, I don't think anybody could go into this game overly confident because it just seems like no matter what in recent history, the New York Giants find a way to lose against this football team. But I'll tell you what, I think on paper, we're just as good as this team. I really do believe that in my heart with the injuries that the Eagles have right now, with the way that we've played in recent weeks. I really, truly believe the New York Giants, they can match up with this Eagles team. I don't think they're much better. I don't think they're blowing us out. I think the Giants are going to have opportunities to win this game if they're fundamentally sound.
Yeah. And another thing I just remembered, when the Giants defense starts to get tired, they start to get exhausted, what do you start to see a lot of? Penalties. They have to stop doing that as well.
The first 2 weeks, I complimented them on that. They were one of the least penalized teams in football. I don't know the stats. I don't have the stats in front of me right now, but the offensive lines had a couple of crucial penalties throughout the year, and yeah, they definitely got to be efficient in that area. You don't want to have too many penalties.
Yeah. And Daniel Jones. I know somebody before me was talking about how he stares down receivers and it's frustrating. It really, really is. And generally, that's how he will tend to throw an interception or something. And as for Evan Ingram, I don't know about Evan Ingram at this point. If he drops another ball, I'm killing somebody.
Don't do that. Don't do that because you're on camera now, so you can't do it.
Okay.
But and I just want to. I saw this in the chat. Juan, I wish you the best of luck. Okay. He's got $1 million on the New York Giants tomorrow. Juan, best of luck tomorrow, my man. Don't blame me if the Giants lose, okay? Just don't blame me. But best of luck. You must have a lot of money to bet with if you're actually betting $1 million. But what's going on, Lori? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. But all right, let me get your take in terms of the final score of this game. Give me your final score.
Final score. Okay, let me think. If the Giants actually, play a good game, I'm saying around 27-24 Giants.
That's about what I got. I got about a field goal game, and we all know Gano's been a great field goal kicker, but hopefully he's not kicking too many tomorrow. I want to see Jones build up the last week. Don't turn the football over too much. I'd love to talk to you longer. It's getting late. I've got so many people on hold.
No, that's okay. I understand.
But I want to say thank you so much for being a great supporter. And now I know from now on with you, I can no longer say don't apologize. I'll just let you go. But Mini Guy, man. By the way, a lot of people in the chat I saw said they love the hat. I like the hat too. It's a cool looking hat.
Yeah.
All right, my man. Be well. Enjoy the game tomorrow. Next up, we got Gavin. What's going on, Gavin? Thanks for popping the stream, buddy.
What's going on?
What's up, my man? Thanks for calling.
No problem. Just wanted to talk about Dave Gettleman and his future with the team.
Yeah.
Sorry. But like when he got here, he really wanted to build in the trenches. And this is the first time in franchise history that I would say that the O-line isn't an issue. So you think going forward, since he's done that, you think he'll keep his job?
You know, I don't know how long you've been on my channel. I don't know. How long you been on my channel?
Since the off season.
Okay. So you know I'm an offensive line guy. I'm a Gettleman guy. I don't know if I'd call myself a Gettleman guy, but I'm definitely not a Gettleman basher. I'm a guy that defends Gettleman when I think it's appropriate. Right now, if you ask me, I made a video about 3 weeks ago when I said that I can't defend Gettleman anymore. And the main reason why I said that was because of the offensive line. That's been his mission statement since he's gotten here. And we saw how poor the offensive line was playing over the first 4 weeks or so. And it was kind of after the 49er game where I said my hands are tied. If this offensive line doesn't take huge strides, Gettleman's going to lose his job. I got nothing to say. Over the last 4 weeks, we've seen dramatic improvement in that offensive line. The defense, I said it earlier in the stream. Let me ask you, who are the 3 best players on this defense this year?
Martinez, Bradbury, Leonard Williams.
He picked all those guys up within the last year.
Yep.
So Gettleman, and some people don't want to give Dave Gettleman credit. They're going to say it was Joe Judge. Those same people won't then say, well, Mara might have been responsible for not taking a quarterback in 2018. If you're going to bash him for previous picks, you got to give him credit for this year. They had a strong offseason. The defense has improved drastically, and he had a lot to do with those moves. And the offensive line has played significantly better over the last 5 weeks. So if this continues and Daniel Jones gets better over these last 7 games, I think Dave Gettleman's coming back.
I think it really does come down to Daniel Jones because you can't miss on a quarterback pick. And it's a shame because he did build a nice team outside of that. So if he does miss on that, I'm not the biggest Gettleman guy, but I like some of the moves. But, man, I hope Jones succeeds.
I think we're all hoping that Jones succeeds. Well, I shouldn't say that. I think there's definitely some Giants fans there.
Some want to lose out and maybe get Trevor Fields.
There are definitely some Giants fans that just don't like Daniel Jones. But I think most Giant fans want Daniel Jones to succeed. They want him to be the quarterback. But he's got to prove it. You know, he's got to play. He's got to play well here over these last 7 games.
Yeah, I know you got a lot of people waiting, so I'll let you go. But thanks for having me on.
No, thank you for calling, man. Thank you for being a supporter of the channel, Gavin.
No problem. Keep it up.
All right, my man. Be well.
See you.
All right. We got Finez on the line. What's up, Finez?
What's going on, Chris?
What's going on, man? Thanks for calling in, buddy.
I just want to say thank you for all the video streams and everything because I'm in Tampa and, I don't get a lot of coverage for the Giants and stuff. And you really helped me out with that.
Man, thank you for watching and thank you for support, man. How did you become a Giants fan from Tampa?
I'm from Long Island and my dad's a Giants fan, so.
Okay, so you moved out of New York. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go Mets as well.
There you go. You root for my 2 teams. Sometimes I regret rooting for the Mets, but I do think we have a bright future with the new owner.
Yeah, true. All right.
What
so
do you want to talk about?
So in free agency, I don't think we should go after a corner or receiver. We're already paying Bradbury a lot and Shep a lot as well. So I think we should get another rookie corner and probably the same with receiver. And who I want in the draft is Kyle Pitts, the tight end from Florida.
Yeah.
And I would have traded Ingram, but either way, we can use them as a double, like as a duo.
So I've a lot of my subscribers have brought up Kyle Pitts. You're not taking him in the first round.
I would. I mean, if we're picking in top 3, I would trade down and get him. But
wow, I can't take a tight end. I know he's a great talent. A lot of people are very high on him. I just think we have much more pressing needs on this team, and I know he's a weapon, but I think we got to address the corner, the edge, before we draft the tight end. That's just me, though.
I would like to address edge, but I don't know if there's a supreme guy like Chase Young like last year. Let's see, corner. There's some good corners, but I just want a weapon. I'm fine with Jamar Chase, but I feel like I like Pitts better. I feel like he'd be more reliable. If that might sound weird, but that's what I feel like.
Hey, no. There's a bunch of Giants fans on my channel that have brought up Kyle Pitts. I can't justify taking him that early. That's just me though. I just think we're at a place now where we need to fill in more important spots. But I'm gonna root for whoever they bring in. I personally won't get on board with it. I won't be hoping for that.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to get your quick take on this because I got 9 other people waiting. I want to get your quick take on the game. Give me your final score prediction and why you think that team's gonna win.
I got the Giants 30-23. I think DJ is gonna throw a pick. I think Fletcher Cox and Brandon Graham are gonna get to him a little bit. He's gonna have 2 touchdowns though, and the defense will hold strong. They'll get a turnover or 2. And also on Daniel Jones, I was supporting him a lot until the Bucks game. I was fully with him, but the Bucks game turned me the other way completely. I don't have confidence in him anymore, but I'm rooting for him the last half of the season. Hopefully he proves me wrong. I'd only take Lawrence or Fields in the draft if we're going quarterback.
Yeah, we'll see. And I agree with you in terms of the Bucks game. I think that was his worst game as a pro, probably. I definitely understand why Giants fans were upset after that game. He lost us that football game. There's no other way to sugarcoat it. And hopefully he changes your mind over the last 7 games. But thank you so much, Finesse, for calling in. Thank you for being a great supporter. I'm going to try to get to a few more people here before we close it out.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me on.
You got it, my man. And I think I saw you in the chat.
Hey.
What's going on, man? Thanks for calling in, buddy.
The entertainer talking drugs.
Yeah, what's up, man?
What's up, Chris? Sorry about earlier. I had to eat dinner, so
nothing to worry about. I just completely forgot that you were still there because I was going to other people.
Yeah, so this profile picture, don't think about it too much. All right, this is it's not what it looks like. All right.
Well, no, it looks exactly. That's Trevor Lawrence in a New York Giants jersey, and that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. I promise you that.
I know. I know. Are there before we begin? Are there any Cowboys fans in the chat?
I'm sure there are. I'm sure that. Well, I know BB13 was in here earlier. I don't know if he still is, but.
All right. Well, I'll say this: Zeke is not a top 10 running back. He is fat. He runs slow. He is washed up. He is not worth that contract. He eats way too many French fries, and the grease got on his hands. He's trash.
I am not going to go that far. I would still definitely rank him in the top 10, but
he's not in the top 10 no more. He's screwing me in fantasy so much. I hate him.
That's your first mistake. That's your first mistake. You're a Giant fan drafting a Cowboy.
He was the best player available, man.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding with you. I drafted him in a couple of fantasy leagues too because he was.
Yeah, I know you did. By the way, I think I'm a curse to this team. You know. Because, I
think everybody in this chat's a curse to this team. The way they play.
No, I really am though. I remember the Washington game. You remember the pass interference call against Kendall Fuller, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I said to myself, imagine if Fuller picks off Jones the next play. That's exactly what happened. I was like, how the hell did I get that right? So yes, I was pissed off, and that's one of many things. So I've tried the opposite. Against the Eagles, right? I told Jake Elliott to make the field goal, and he missed.
So keep doing it, man. Keep saying you want Jones to throw a pick in your head, and he'll throw touchdowns.
That's what I did last week. I was like, Jones, throw an interception, tank for Trevor, blah, blah, blah. No turnovers. All right.
Keep doing it. Yeah, we'll get a W.
We are 2-7 for a reason, though. I mean, it's not going to work all the time. So, thoughts on prospects in the next draft?
I'm going to have a much clearer picture by week 14, 15, 16, because I'm going to have a better idea where we're going to be picking and what our needs are going to be. But I said at the top of the stream right now, if you ask me what's our number one need,
it's cornerback.
Cornerback. That's me right now.
I personally like Jamar Chase at LSU. He's a really good 50-50 guy. I'm in complete love with him. I think he will be an amazing Giant. And there's other player in the second round we could probably get. His name is J.C. Horn out of
He's a
South
corner.
Carolina.
Yeah, he's a corner.
Yeah, you should check him out. He took Seth Williams from Auburn and just erased him. So good, really good man cover corner.
Yeah, I know. I think Nate loves him too. I've seen some of his highlights. He's
Yeah.
he's a good prospect.
Yeah.
But I think we definitely need to address the corner early.
Yeah.
If we don't do it in free agency, early in next year's draft.
I will say if Daniel Jones sucks, he doesn't deserve weapons. He should be off the team. So I I don't hate Daniel Jones. I want him to do well because if he does well, that's better for the team, right? So we don't have to spend another pick on a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? But I almost have no confidence in him. He's on like he had the second most turnovers in 20 starts compared to Ryan Leaf. That's
I think
not
Leaf was
good.
first. Of course, it's not good. It's horrible.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you can't get better. There's
Yeah.
been plenty of great quarterbacks that had turnover, really bad turnover problems early on in their career. I'm not saying he's gonna, but it's not impossible.
I'll say this: if Evan Ingram drops another pass, we are trading his ass away. We are tanking for Kyle Pitts. All right.
Kyle Pitts seems to be the most popular guy the last two callers. But I want to get your final score prediction on the game tomorrow.
I'll say this: if you want this is at MetLife, right?
Yeah.
If you want to win at MetLife, you got to run the ball better at MetLife, and you got to stop the run at MetLife because it's a really windy stadium. So, I like Gallman. I think he'll have a nice game, but the Eagles' D-line kind of scares me. You'll like my score prediction? 9-9. It's a tie.
So you got the Eagles getting 2 ties on the year.
Yeah.
We're getting all kinds of predictions. We're getting a lot of Giants wins, and we're getting surprised. I hope you're wrong. I hope we get a win. But 9-9. All right, there you go, guys. Bet 9-9 on tomorrow's game. But no, man, all kidding aside, man, thank you so much for coming on, buddy. And thank you for being such a great supporter on my channel.
All right. Thanks, Chris, for having me on. I'll hopefully be on your next StreamYard thingamajig, but I'll see ya.
All right, buddy. Have a good one, man. Enjoy the game tomorrow. All right. We've got a couple more. We got a lot more people in the waiting, and I think we got Kenny. And I'm not sure if there's Kenny from my Discord. It says Kenneth on the line. What's going on?
What's up, Chris?
This is Kenny from my Discord. Glad to hear your voice, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm just worried.
So you ready for tomorrow's game, man? What do you want to talk about? You're always very opinionated in the Discord, so I can't wait to hear your opinion on what you got to talk about.
Let's talk about Daniel Jones, the man, the myth, the legend.
Let's talk about it.
2019, April 25th, we drafted Daniel Jones, 6 overall. We hated the pick. Most of us hated the pick. Preseason, he bowled out. Regular season, week 1, on week 3, he bowled out.
Mm-hmm.
Now everyone loves him. Everyone and mama loves him. And, he had some turnovers. People was 50-50. And a lot of people still loved him. But the next year, everyone just hates him now. I know he's regressed a bit. But you gotta give him time, man. It's like you can't love him 1 year, 5 months, and then 5 months spread, then hate him the next. Come on. Give him time. He doesn't have no weapons. Slayton is inconsistent. He can't run a route. He can't get separation for his life. Neither can Tate. Tate can't get separation. Mac is a 1-game wonder, probably. He got a 50-yard pass from busted coverage. All right, yeah, that's good, but it's one and done. Who else? Ingram drops a lot of balls. He's good. He's decent. He's good, but he drops a lot of balls. So we need to give him a weapon. Chase Golladay, Robinson. Yeah, I think I'm with you. We should draft a cornerback too.
We'll see. We'll see. Listen, my take on Daniel Jones from the start was obviously everybody knows I hated the pick. That there's no going back from that. And you know what I loved? After I made that pick, after everybody saw my reaction from the pick. Right after the Bucks game, I must have gotten 500 comments from my draft reaction video. What do you think now? And what's funny is I could easily take the same approach now and say, What do you think now? I was right. But no, that's not the approach I'm taking. I'm trying to give him as fair of an opportunity as I possibly can. And I think we need further evaluation. But am I sold on him? Not by any means. I think he's got a lot to work on. But I think he's got potential to at least improve and become a solid NFL quarterback. And we'll see. But I wanted to jump into this game tomorrow against the Eagles.
So,
and I wanted to get your take on it.
Giants and Eagles. They sold out. Giants defense just can't. Giants. Oh my God, it was horrible. I was depressed when we lost that game. We should have won it. 21-10. Well, it was 21-10. We had the ball. Ingram dropped it. No, was it 21-10 when we had the ball? Like, and Ingram dropped it, or 21-16?
We were up. Well, we ended up losing by 1. So I think we were up by. I can't remember. I think we were. No, I think we. I don't remember. I know we were up by 11. They scored the touchdown. Yeah.
I think we had the ball. Yeah, we were running. We was driving the football. Ingram just should have just had to caught that and we would have won. But like, hopefully we close this game out. We have the lead fourth quarter. We close the game out. I'm just worried, man. It always happens. You already know what's gonna happen. 3rd down and 11. Wentz is gonna scramble. Wentz is gonna have all day. 4 seconds. He's gonna scramble out. He's gonna hit Greg Ward's that.
Don't you dare say that, Kenny.
We already know what's gonna happen. And then Boston Scott, Miles Sanders is gonna juke David Mayo touchdown. We already know what's gonna happen. I'm just being pessimistic, but we know what's gonna happen. Offense, Daniel Jones. All right, Wentz is gonna score. It's gonna be tied up in the 4th quarter. Wentz is gonna score with Boston Scott. Daniel Jones will go to the 50-yard line and he will fumble, strip fumble. That's what's gonna happen. And once we nail it, that's what happened all of it last year. That's probably what's gonna happen again. Down the middle, Wentz sideline. Wentz looking, cooking, throwing.
Kenny, you get me upset. You get me depressed. I don't need that. Kenny. I need you on board with me. I need you on board with me going into this game. I need you to believe that the Giants got a good chance to pull this one out.
That Eagles game, we can't close games out. We just can't close it out until I have to see it to believe it. So, my score prediction is Eagles 32, Giants 20.
We'll see, man. We'll see, Kenny, man. But I just want to say thank you so much for coming on, man, and thank you for being a great supporter of the channel, buddy.
All right, bye.
All right, my man. Sam Weber on the line. What's going on, Sam? How you doing, buddy?
Hey, yo, I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on, dude.
Oh, are you kidding me, man? Thanks for coming on, buddy.
Of course. I'm just here to let the masses know that Dave Gettleman is the guy. Daniel Jones is the guy. We're going to be okay.
I love it. I love the optimism, man. And tell me why. Tell me what you like. Because there are certainly a lot of New York Giants fans who hate both of those people. We've talked a lot about Jones. We've talked a lot about Jones the last 5 callers. Let's talk about Dave. Tell me what you like about Dave Gettleman.
Well, I'll start with Dave. What I like about him is that even though he's done some questionable things, he's done a lot more good, I think. You got to realize he trades Odell Beckham. Yeah, he was good, but as a result, we get, I believe, Jabril Peppers, and we get Sexy Dexy. DeAndre Baker was a bust. Was that? And then we also got what's his name from Cleveland?
What are you talking about from the draft? We got Zeitler from Cleveland.
And we got Peppers too, right?
We got Peppers from Cleveland, yeah.
And then we got the draft pick, which allowed us to get Sexy Dexy.
And O'Shane Jimenez.
No. We drafted Jones, and then we drafted Lawrence in that same first round. That we got that pick from Cleveland in the Odell Beckham trade.
Yeah, and Jimenez was the other pick that we got from Cleveland.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. And okay. But I like that move to get Lawrence, and then I like getting Williams in here. He's done a lot of good, and I like getting the defense. He really shored up the defense and the offensive line this year, and I give him a lot of credit for that. So we're in the right direction. You got to remember, he was told to win with Eli Manning in the first year, so that makes it tough.
Yeah, I say it all the time, and it's just opinion. It's not fact. I think he was forced Eli Manning on him as the quarterback. We'll never know, but we'll see. You know, I like the way the team's been playing. I like that the offensive line's been evolving, and I think not just for Jones but for Gettleman, these last 7 games are crucial into whether or not they're going to be a part of the future of this team. And I think the team's going to continue to play well, and maybe we don't win more than 2 or 3 games down the stretch, but I think they're going to continue to play well, and then Mara's going to have to come to a decision about what he wants to do. What is that?
I hope they keep them. I want continuity. I want stability. I think that's key for this Giants organization. I know the Maras want it. We want it too.
We'll see, my man. I'm gonna let you go because I got so many people waiting and it's getting late. But I hope I get to see you at the stream tomorrow. If not, enjoy the game and let's get a W tomorrow, man.
Absolutely. Stay safe, man.
You got it, Sam. You got it, Sam. Thank you for coming on, buddy.
Of course.
All right. Next up, we've got Big Giants fan. I just want to say thank you to ISOW. I think he was on the channel earlier. Thank you for the support, man. I really appreciate that. He says, stand up. Hopefully I say that a lot tomorrow's game. I say that every time they score a touchdown. Thank you for being a part of the stream, and thank you for the love. Big Giants fan, what's up, buddy?
Not much. You've heard my voice before.
Yeah, I have heard your voice. Who is this?
This is the Giants fan and then the Giants fan again.
The Giants fan and then the Giants fan again. What's up, Giants fan?
So I want to say I want to get your thoughts on the Toy Lolo guy.
Levine Toilolo?
Yeah.
I think you, maybe I'm wrong. I think last time we talked you asked about him, but maybe you didn't. They haven't used him as much as I thought they would, to be honest with you. I thought they used him a little bit more. He hasn't really been used at all. At least as a pass catcher. They brought him in a little bit. I don't know his snap count. I'd have to look it up, but they haven't used him as much as I thought they would.
Yeah, and then I think Toy Lolo is probably gonna have to step in for
Caden Smith.
Ingram. Yeah, or Caden Smith.
Smith is banged up, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I thought I read that, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. And then there's this guy who's at Notre Dame. I don't know his real name, but I've watched the games and I know his nickname is like Baby Gronk or something.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he's I see him as George Kittle. They don't use him as running far routes. They use him as running short routes, and that's what he's used to, and that's what he knows how to do. And like he knows how to block and he knows how to catch. And that's the thing that you want. And I remember you and Bad Dog saying, you know, like having a pass catcher tight end is a privilege. Having a blocking tight end is a must.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you want both. You want a guy that could, both block and catch and run routes. But yeah, especially for a team with a weak offensive line, the primary role of a tight end is to be able to block.
Yeah, and then what was it? I think if Daniel Jones looks over to his left, then he finally recognizes Darius Slayton. We will put up more points. Trust me on that one, because Darius Slayton. I remember in the Bucs game. I remember watching that. And they said on the they were.
You still there, buddy? I think we lost him.
No, I'm still here. I'm still here.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll be right back. I just have to do something real quick.
Okay, I'm gonna bring you back on then. Because I got a lot of people waiting. We'll try to bring you back on. Richard Fung says, "Screw get him and get this kid a job." ACM, man, what's going on, buddy? Thanks for popping in, buddy.
Thanks for having me.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
I said thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you for coming on, man. What's up?
Okay. I know it's a long shot. I know it's been rough this season, but I feel like if we can win this game, we can turn this season into maybe a winning season. And who knows? Maybe we can just nudge in there and get into the playoffs. maybe we won't win, but if we can put it together, we could be a dangerous team. I strongly believe that.
I hope you're right. They got to win the next two for me to even believe that we have a shot at the playoffs. These next two are absolute must-win. So 1 week at a time. Let's win tomorrow, then we'll worry about the Bengals.
Yeah, 1 week at a time. But I feel like it's going to be a big morale boost winning against the hated Phillies.
Oh, if we win tomorrow, for sure. Giants fans are going to be amped up. If we win tomorrow, I think Giants fans are going to start to believe that at least there's a realistic possibility this team could, go on a little bit of a run and maybe sneak into the playoffs out of this weak division.
Definitely. Anytime you beat a rival, there's something in you, just like a newfound confidence that is going to carry with you the rest of the season. And hey, hopefully we can ride that momentum wave, to finishing off strong.
I sure hope so, man. I sure hope so. But anything else you want to say?
32-21 Giants.
11-point win. I like it. I could see. I'm not picking that, but I like the optimism, and I'd like a convincing win. We'll see. But I just want to win. I don't care what it's by.
A win's a win.
Yeah, but ACM, man, thank you so much for coming on, man. I got to get to a couple more people, and thank you for all the support.
No problem.
All right, my man. Be well. All right. We've got Bodie online. What's up, Bodie?
Hi.
What's up, man?
Nothing much. You?
Nothing much. Just talking Giants.
Yeah. So I want to talk about Daniel Jones a little bit here because, I don't know what to think about Daniel Jones much. It's because sometimes he'll play good and sometimes he'll play bad. It's like I was just watching the Florida game and I was watching Kyle Trask play. He threw 6 touchdowns, and if we had any quarterback that wouldn't turn the ball over, we would have a great record.
Of course, we'd have a great record, but it's one thing to do it in college. I think Dwayne Haskins had 50 touchdowns and I think like 7 picks or 4 picks. He had like a ridiculous stats. It's one thing to do it in college. It's another thing to do it in the pros. Just because this guy looks great in college doesn't mean he's going to be great in the pros.
Yeah, I understand that, but another thing is Haskins, he was not a good quarterback when he played for Washington, but I don't think he turned the ball over as much as Daniel Jones did. Obviously didn't play as much, but I don't think he turned the ball over as much. I mean, he doesn't throw as many touchdowns though, but I mean, I don't know. But I do agree with you. We do need to get a cornerback because Bradbury, he's played good, but like you said, we only have him for 2 more years, and we need to start building for the future. So I understand that.
Yeah, I still say that's our primary need. And depending on where we're picking, maybe we go quarterback. But, I don't even want to think draft yet because we got a big game coming up tomorrow. And if we win it, I'm not going to be thinking about the draft probably for the next 4 weeks. So I want to go out there. I want to find a way to beat the Philadelphia Eagles. It's something we haven't been able to do in forever. And it's a huge game for Daniel Jones. It's also a huge game for Joe Judge. So we'll see. We'll see what happens tomorrow.
Yeah. And it's like everything that could go wrong for the Giants. That's exactly what happens for that team. We should, if you think about it, if we win that Philly game the first time, we would be in a really good spot right now. Even if we do lose this game, we still have a better chance of making the playoffs if we won that game. It was 1 drop away. If you catch that, we win. It's that simple. You can go back to that in the offseason and look at that and be like, wow, we could have really made the playoffs if that one drop right there defined the season.
It's the little things in football. They say it's a game of inches. And the Giants, if they hit on a play or two in the Eagles game, in the Cowboys game, even though the referees definitely hurt us in that game, but we are this close to having 3 more wins this year. So it's a game of inches, man. And the good teams get those inches and the bad teams don't. And, we're still evolving. We're getting better. We're not good yet. But what's changed is we've now become a team that's at least gotten to the point where we're a couple of inches away from winning some football games. Last year, if you remember back to it, against anybody that was good, we were getting blown out. So, I definitely think we've taken big steps forward, but we still got more steps that we need to take.
Yeah, I love your channel, and I'll give you a score, and I'll let somebody else come on here because I know there's a lot of people in here. I'll say the Giants will win 17-14.
I like it. I'm getting a lot of Giants wins tonight. I hope everybody's right. I'll take 2-0. So let's get a win
All right,
tomorrow,
thanks
my
for
man.
having me on.
You got it, buddy. Thank you for being a great supporter. All right. We got. I don't know if I'm gonna get to everybody because it's already 10:42. We went live. What time did we start this show? We started at 7:45. So I don't know. I don't know how much longer we're gonna go, but I think I got LeVar here. What's up, LeVar, man?
Yes, sir. What's going on? Can you hear me?
I do hear you loud and clear, man. Thank you for calling in.
All right, cool, man. All right. First, I want to start off by saying we need to keep Dave Gettleman. I love the move he made in the draft, bringing in a lot of those linebackers. I think they really set us up good for the future. I do not want to see David Mayo playing tomorrow. I really do not. He's too slow. He gets burned every time. I feel like he's more of a run coverage linebacker, but I do not want to see that guy in. And
We'll see. We'll see. You know, I'm definitely completely okay with bringing Gettleman back. Anybody that watches my channel knows that.
Right.
I'm not going to cry if they move on. I'll understand, but I think he had a good offseason. That's what I continue to say. And some people may want to credit Judge. Credit whoever you want. I think the team had a good offseason, and he's part of that. And Mr. Vanessa, thank you so much. He says, I didn't give a score. 24-13 Giants. I sure hope you're right, man. But let's jump into the game. You know, you were going with Gettleman a little bit. Let's jump into this game. And, tell me your thoughts going into it against Philadelphia.
Giants take the win. I feel like our defense is no problem. It's our offense. I honestly want to see Corey Coleman come in. I always go back to the game last year when he played versus the 49ers.
You mean
100%
2 years ago, right? Last year was hurt.
Yeah. 2 years ago. He was incredibly reliable. He caught almost everything going his way. And I think he has a really big upside playing with the Giants. Like standing aside, Austin Mack subbing in for Sterling Shepard here and there, taking some of the pressure off him, keeping our wide receivers fresh with a good rotation. That should be our focus. I think our run game is stout. I don't think they should put Will Hernandez back in. I think they should let Lemieux rock out and work on the O-line that way. But the key will be our throwing game. I don't think they'll be able to stop the run. I think the key will be moving the ball through the air offense.
I worry about the run tomorrow. I do. Because the strength of this Eagles defense, their interior defensive line is very good. So I do worry about the run. I said the same thing the first time we played them. I think we're going to need to get creative with RPOs on the outside and pitch plays, things like that, because I do think, much like the first game, at least early on, we definitely started to get the run game going down the stretch. But I do think they're going to do a good job of containing us in the run game if we try to run between the tackles. So I kind of agree with you there. I think they're going to force Jones to beat them. And I think Jones is going to have to be a little bit more than a game manager in this game if the Giants are going to win it.
Field General. That's what they're going to call him after this game. Field General.
I hope so, man. I sure hope so. I'm going to let you go because I got a lot of people going. Just give me a quick final score.
35-15. Giants way. Go Big Blue.
Wow. Yeah. Love it, man.
Yeah.
Love it. Enjoy the game tomorrow, LeVar.
All right, you too.
All right, my man. Next up, we got Don Lee. What's going on, Don Lee?
What's up, Chris? Big fan.
I appreciate that, man. Thanks for tuning in.
All right, so I want to talk about two things. I want to talk about the future of the Giants, and
I don't mean to interrupt you. Could you speak up a little more?
I want to talk about Daniel Jones and the future of the Giants real quick. Can you hear me?
I hear. Yeah, you're coming in all right.
All right, so first thing, Daniel Jones, right? I feel like, remember the first drive he had with the Steelers? I think it was like the 13 play drive. With the,
yeah. Where he threw the pick at the end of it. It was a great drive, though. Yeah.
He has so many good moments this year that people just look over because of the turnovers, and it's just crazy. Just like he shows too many flashes for him to be a bust. Too many. He just needs more time to develop, and that's just pretty much it.
You know what? Yeah, I definitely have seen flashes. There's no doubt about it. I even made a video after that game when I had time to look at the film and think about it. I actually thought, all things considered, in that game he played well. When you factor in how good that Steelers defense was and the fact they couldn't run at all, I actually thought he played pretty well in that game. He's also played very poorly in some other games. But no, there's no doubt about it. He shows flashes, but they can't be flashes anymore. We need not there's gonna be games where he plays poorly.
Consistency comes with time.
We need more. I agree with that. And that's why I'm trying to give him time.
And one other thing, I don't know why people don't talk about the Bears game. We was one score away from winning that game, but no.
We were on the 8-yard line, I think it was, right, or something at the end of the game.
You were so close to winning that game, and no one talks about it. They skip over it for some reason. I don't know why, but we could have took that game so easy.
Could have took the Bears game. Could have took the Steelers game. We could have took every game we played this year, but the 49er game. Not that I'm saying we should have won all of them.
With the 49ers.
Yeah, but we were in every game. I'm not saying we should have won every game, but we were in every. We've been in every game.
And quick thing about the draft, I understand. I really agree with you with the cornerback situation. I want Surtain from Alabama.
Right now, last year I can't say I'm 100% sure because I gotta see the rest of the year. I was sure by week 14 or 15 I was all in on the tackle, and right now I'm definitely trending. And I don't know where we're going to be picking, but right now I'm definitely trending cornerback.
Cornerback.
That doesn't mean that's what they'll do, but that's where I'm leading right now.
Last one before I give you the score prediction. All right, since if we get an edge rusher, would you want Bud Dupree or I forgot the other guy from the Ravens?
Oh, Judon?
Judon, yeah, Matt Judon.
I like Dupree. I think Dupree fits our scheme. They both fit our scheme. Judon fits the scheme too. I just like Dupree more. I think he's more versatile. He's kind of like a little bit bigger Troy Polamalu. That he's very versatile. I think he fits our. I think he fit our scheme very well. I would welcome Bud Dupree.
Okay, I'm gonna let you go. Last thing, score prediction. I'm giving the Giants 23-10. I want us to run
Love
the
it.
ball.
Love it. 23-10. I'll take it. Give me 20. Give me a win. Give me a W. Give me a W.
Exactly.
I would like to not have to sweat it out until the last second, but the Giants, and that's probably what's going to happen. But let's get a win, man. At the end of the day, let's get an emotional win tomorrow. Let's be happy going into the bye week. But Don, man, thank you so much for being such a great supporter on the channel. I appreciate it. And thank you for calling in. All right. Are you a stand-up comedian, by the way?
I wish.
Oh, I see the profile picture. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, it's Chappelle.
Oh, is that who it is? It's Chappelle. Okay, it's Chappelle.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. But thank you for calling in, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, my man. And Raymond, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Happy birthday, Chris. Have a great one. Thank you so much, Raymond, man. And thank you for being a great supporter of the channel. I really do appreciate it. Andre is on the line. I don't know if this is Goldquan.
Hello, can you hear me?
I hear you. What's up, Andre?
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you. What's up?
I want to talk about a couple of things. It won't be that long, but I'm 16. I haven't seen consistent winning out of this team, but I think this is the biggest game since the playoff game in 2016. I think.
And to my knowledge, nobody's gone on a boat trip yet, so that's good.
Yeah, so we have a chance, and Odell's not on the team, so there's no one dropping touchdowns.
No. This is. You could definitely argue that this is the biggest game, at least at this point in the season, since that playoff game.
Yeah, and I think especially Giants fans, and some Giants fans don't want to hear this, but if we win this game, Gettleman's staying, or they're going to go in-house. I think.
I wouldn't be. I'm listen. If the Giants win the next two, I'm definitely leaning exactly what you just said. Either Gettleman retires or Gettleman stays. I'm leaning that way.
Yeah, and honestly, I wouldn't even mind it. He's done a good job. I think that people kill him sometimes unnecessarily. But
listen. Here's my take with Gettleman. He's definitely made some boneheaded moves, and every GM does. You look at the New England Patriots. They traded for Mohamed Sanu last year for a second-round pick. Every team does, and I'm not making excuses for some of his boneheaded moves. He's definitely made some bad moves. Yeah. I think Gettleman's not a very likable guy. Well, at least for some people, they don't like his personality, and I think he's definitely a little bit obnoxious. I get that, and some people may not agree with the way that he wants to build a team. And he's definitely made some questionable decisions. But overall, this offseason, if I'm being fair and unbiased and not a guy that just looks to bash Gettleman every chance I get, which I do feel some Giants fans are that way. Yeah. I don't know how you could say he had a bad offseason. I thought he had a very good offseason.
And even in the past with the Nate Solder contract, okay, what are you going to do there? He's the best tackle available. You had to give him. They were told Eli has to win for his last year in 18. Come on.
This is gonna definitely be a a storyline that gets bigger and bigger as the season progresses, and I'm sure as that's going to be the biggest question mark at the conclusion of the year is whether or not Dave stays on as the GM. But let's put it this way: the last 3 or 4 weeks, it's trending up. You know, the thing that his job, there's 2 things in my opinion that his job relies on. That's the offensive line maturing and getting better, and it's Daniel Jones. And he's going to need Daniel Jones to play better here over these last 7 games. That's to me what it comes down to. The defense, he built from scratch. I mean, all these guys pretty much weren't on this team before he took over, and this defense is playing at least league average. Maybe you want to credit Patrick Graham, but they're playing well, and he brought these players in.
I remember last year, week 1 against Dallas, I knew the season was over on how Dak Prescott made our defense look so terrible. Every throw was wide open, and it was an awful game. I hated that game. Couldn't stand it. Week 1.
God, every year we play the Cowboys. But I want to get your take on the game tomorrow, Andre, before I let you go.
Tomorrow, I want to see Daniel Jones not turn the ball over, obviously. But I think that we got to keep Carson Wentz in the pocket, I think. If we can do that, because you see he kills us when he gets outside the pocket and he is running around and he is making plays like that. When he is making Mahomes-type throws, that's when he kills us, I think. If we keep him in the pocket and make him read the defense, which I don't think he's great at, I think we'll have a chance. My score prediction, I'd say, is 28-24 Giants.
I like it. I can see that. It's about what I got. I think I have a 24-21, I said. But I like it. I got it right around 3 or 4 points. Either way, I think it's a near coin flip game. And let's hope we win the coin flip.
Yeah.
But
one thing, real quick, last thing. I'll say I have a friend that's a Ravens fan, and he said he'd trade Evan Ingram for Mark Andrews right now. And he doesn't watch too many Giants games. So
make the trade. Make the trade right now.
Right now. First out.
But Andre, man, thank you so much for tuning in, man. I do appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
You got it, buddy. Joey, 1 second before I get to you, I just want to read this. Raymond, thank you very much. Bart Scott on ESPN had this thought that Belichick will end up with a front office position with the Giants and will work well with Joe Judge as his guy. Yeah, Ray, I didn't hear that from Bart Scott, but that's been talked about by Giants fans for really since we brought Joe Judge in. Do I think that'll happen? I don't know. I think that's a little fantasy thinking, but who knows? Maybe he had it in the cards from the start. Maybe he knew that, New England was going to fall apart, and he set Joe Judge up here to come along for the ride. I doubt it. I'm not going to bank on it, but a lot of Giants fans have brought that up, and obviously I think Giants fans would welcome Bill back with open arms. What's up, Joey?
What's up, man? Thanks for having me on the stream.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you for calling in.
Yeah, I think Daniel Jones is going to have a big game tomorrow.
How big?
Like, I think he's going to do decent, no turnovers, and he's going to have, I think 3 touchdowns. At least.
I sure hope so. I sure hope so. I just want to get it done. I think it's going to come down to the turnovers. I need him to play like he did last week, but I think he's going to need a little more.
I think Leonard Williams is going to have a big day too.
I could definitely see that. That's something that we haven't talked about this stream is the biggest weakness for this Eagles team is the offensive line. The offensive line is banged up. They've surrendered the most sacks in football. Carson Wentz has been turning the football over. That is the biggest that alone. That weakness for the Philadelphia Eagles, that alone makes them prone to lose against any team on any given Sunday. Because when you have a team that's given up as many sacks as they have and an offensive line that's performed as poorly as theirs has, I don't care. If you get pressure on Wentz, you could force turnovers and you could win the football game. So the Giants absolutely have to take advantage of that. I think they need to be aggressive on defense. They've got a team prone to making turnovers and a poor offensive line. I think they're going to have opportunities to make plays.
Yeah, I think they're gonna ball out tomorrow. Do really good.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see, man.
Yeah, it's Eagles, bro. We always find a way to lose, man.
I sure hope so. I sure hope so. And I think we're gonna have our opportunities. It's a couple of callers in the past said it. We got to finish. We got to close it out.
Golden Tate's playing, right? He's starting.
Golden Tate, to my knowledge, is starting. I haven't heard anything differently.
I'm not a big fan of him, man.
I don't think I do think they're going to play Mac. I think Mac's going to get opportunities to play in this game, but to my knowledge, Tate is playing. But that may change.
Yeah, that's all I got, man. Let's just get this dub. I think we got it.
Yeah, well, we'll see, man. I sure hope so, man. I love the optimism, buddy.
We got 24-17 Giants.
Let's go. Let's get this win.
Man.
Let's go. All right. Oh, no. Oh no, I see who's next on the list. Oh no, got an Eagles fan. Got an Eagles fan. One of my best supporters, been with my channel for a while. The microphone. Oh, now he unmuted it. It's just unfortunate that one of my best subscribers is an Eagles fan on the week that we're playing the Philadelphia Eagles. Bigger Mike, what's up, buddy?
What's up, man? Eagles by 50.
By 50. You want to make a bet on that?
Sure, why not?
What's up, man? What do you want to talk? Obviously, you want to talk about the Eagles. Let's go.
Yeah, I just want to make it clear that I have the utmost and most supreme confidence that we're going to blow the New York Football Giants out of the water tomorrow. Starting at 1 o'clock.
What do you consider a blowout?
Blow, freaking! Oh my! It's gonna be ugly. We will dominate you on defense. Your offense will do nothing until the fourth quarter, when in garbage time when all of our third stringers are out there. We're gonna score like 35 points in the first half. It's gonna be ugly. We're gonna be.
I hope Giants fans are recording this conversation right now.
Please do.
I need every Giants fan in here to timestamp this conversation. And when the New York Giants beat the Philadelphia Eagles tomorrow, we're going to come back here and we're going to listen.
Clip this. Carson Wentz breaks the record for most touchdown passes in a single game tomorrow.
Mike, I know you don't do drugs. I don't think you don't drink. But if you started doing that, I need you to stop.
No. I'm clean.
We'll see, my man. I think it's going to be a close game. I mean, you look at the last 4 times we played, 3 of them have been decided within a point or 2. I don't see a blowout. The only way I see a blowout is if the Giants, kind of like last year, I think it was the first time we played you guys, Eli Manning had I think it was a pick 6, the first drive. If stuff like that happens, then anything, obviously we could lose the football game bad, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think the Giants will come out with a conservative game plan. I think they'll stick with them in this game. And we'll see who makes the plays at the end of the contest. But I do think it's going to be a close game. I do not see a blowout on either side. I think it's going to come down to the final 5 or 6 minutes like the first week.
The past is the past. The past is the past. The present is the present. It doesn't matter how close the other games were. 56-7. Mark my words.
56-7. Mike, I'll make a bet with you right now. It's not 56-7.
Bet? Let's do it.
We'll talk about it in the Discord. But, Mike, I got the Giants beating you by about a field goal. We'll talk about it after the game. And good luck to Carson Wentz tomorrow because we've hurt 2 NFC's quarterbacks the last 2 times we played him. So hopefully for your sake he stays healthy.
Nah, bro. Carson Wentz is built different.
All right, my man. Mike, thank you for being such a great supporter on the channel.
Peace out.
All right, buddy. All right. We're going to get a couple more before we close it out. Gravedigger. What's up, Gravedigger?
How you doing, man? You good?
You there, buddy?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I hear you now. What's up, my man?
Yeah, I'm good. How you doing? Basically, I want to say 2 things. I'm from the UK. I've been watching your stuff for a good at least 7 months. So thanks for that because you give me good content.
I love the accent.
Yeah. And second one is Kenny's a clown. He needs to stop talking about Danny Jones like that because he's a clown. That guy loves Danny Jones way too much.
What do you want to talk about?
I don't know, man. This team just giving me all the time, man. It's hard to support this team, man. You know what I mean? But hopefully we win tomorrow, man. Hopefully we beat the Eagles.
Let me ask you. You're from the UK.
Yeah.
What made you decide to be a Giants fan?
I ask myself that question every day, man. I have no idea why I support the Giants, man. But I don't know. It's just...
I'm just curious. I always ask people from overseas that question.
Oh,
I'm just curious.
I started supporting them probably 2016, middle of the season, and obviously they had like Odell and guys like that. You know what I mean? I like Odell, so that's one of the reasons why.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm sure Odell converted a lot of people. He's an exciting player. Yeah, and I know you're not a big Jones guy, but I kind of wanted to, dive into the game. Tell me your thoughts on the game. Tell me you think if we could come up with a W.
Depends on Jones, man. Wherever he takes us, that's where we're gonna go. You know what I mean? So we basically need Jones to not turn the ball over. It was encouraging signs, but for me personally, I'm not really a fan of game managers. You know what I mean? As a quarterback, because if you're gonna game manage, you better win the game. And
of course. Of
He's only won
course.
2 games, you know what I mean? So it's like I don't know, it's a toss up, but he has. I don't know. I just prefer, obviously. I know guys like Mahomes and stuff like that. They're like once in a generation guys, but why can't we have someone like that, man? You know what I mean?
It's not easy to find those guys, but yeah, I would love to have one of those guys. I would love to have one of those guys because then you're going to be a contender year in and year out. And right now, yeah, I mean, I'm hoping Jones could evolve and become a better quarterback. But right now, yeah, he's a guy that is a game manager on a team that isn't, they're not a good enough team yet to win games with a game manager. So hopefully he progresses and gets better. The Giants stick with him and they build the team around him. That's what I'm hoping. But as far as this game goes, I agree with you. I mean, I think it's going to come down to turnovers on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, 100%.
Just like any game, but this game even more so because I do think we're going to have opportunities to create turnovers against this Eagles team.
Yeah, and also I was gonna say, Jones. Yeah, I've seen a stat where whenever he has more than 2.5 seconds to throw, yeah, he's terrible. Like, and he also has a tendency where whenever he has a clean pocket, he's always trying to go to his right hand side. I remember the play against Tampa where Slayton went on. I think it was a 4th and I think 8 or something like that. He has a clean pocket, just throw the ball. He runs into his right, and he runs into, I think it was Jason Pierre-Paul or someone like that. And then it's just like he just makes it hard for himself. I mean, I understand, second year quarterback, not really a great team, but he just has bad tendencies that he needs to start working on. But I want him to be good so that we can, get Jamar Chase, maybe get JC Horn, get Allen Robinson, maybe free agency guys like that. That's gonna help us
To build the team around him. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And
Well,
then
we need
maybe
to,
next year.
we
Yeah,
need
go
to
on.
see him grow. We need to see him grow. And I'm hoping over these last 7 games we do. But Gravedigger, man, I want to say I always see in the Discord, great supporter of mine.
Yeah, my prediction for tomorrow.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
go.
Give me a prediction.
I'm trying to be positive, but I'm gonna go for 2017 Eagles. And
I think that's
last
fair.
thing,
I think that's fair.
yeah, and last thing as well, Kenny's a clown. He needs to stop standing Jones, and he needs to start being objective because that guy just loves Jones way too much.
Great, Digger, man. Thank you for being a great supporter of the channel, and I'm glad that you picked the Giants.
Yeah, no problem, mate. Thank you.
You got it, my man. Have a good one. And Mr. Mini Guy with the super chat, he says, as Stephen A. would say, stay off the weed. Mr. Mini Guy, man, thank you so much for being a great supporter of the channel, man. I had a pleasure talking to you earlier. Big Blue Gaming, what's going on, man?
Nothing much. How about you?
Nothing much, man. It's a pleasure to get to talk to you, man.
Okay, so my main question is, what are we supposed to do with the offensive line? Because we have a bunch of young guys and some old guys that we may have to move around because I want to move Zeitler, but I don't know what we can get for him unless we just straight up release him because I feel like we need to keep both Hernandez and I forgot his name, Lemieux in the line. And then furthermore on that, do you think we bench Zeitler just to develop Lemieux for the rest of the season?
I don't think you're gonna completely bench Zeitler. I think they're gonna do at the guard spot what they've done at the tackle. Kind of like what I said in my video yesterday is I think it's gonna be musical chairs. I think they're gonna I am assuming at least the start over these last 9 contests, Lemieux is gonna take the role kind of Matt Parrott, where he maybe gets 25 to 30% of the snaps, and Zeitler and Hernandez get the primary amount, but they do get him in there to continue to get him experience. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they do that with Hernandez. But I still think, at least right now, Zeitler's still going to get more time than the other 2 guards. But I do think as the season wears along, you'll slowly start to see a transition.
Yeah. Also, I know this is like a stupid question. What do you think if we move Evan Ingram the fullback?
Evan Ingram the fullback? I mean, he's played H-back before, but he can't block. He's not a fullback.
Yeah, but like he has a big enough body that we could give it to him at the 1 and he could just bulldoze in.
I mean, we've used him in the running game, but I don't think he'll ever be. They've used Caden Smith in a bit as the fullback. They've used Shane Lemieux a bit as the fullback. But no, I don't think he'll be a fullback. But I could maybe a circumstances like you're talking about, maybe. But he's never gonna be a fullback.
Final question: do you think Wayne Gallman will continue his touchdown streak to 4 games?
That's right. He's got 3 so far. I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say yes. I think they're gonna use Wayne Gallman a lot in this game. And yes, I'll say he punches it in once. Yes.
Okay. Do you know what the overs on the over-unders on this is?
I don't, but I would guess it's probably around last time. I think it was around 43, 44, 45 in that range last time. I would guess it's probably around there. Mid 40s, low 40s, maybe 46, something like that, I would guess.
Okay, yeah. I'm probably gonna not that I would give betting advice to anybody, but knowing the teams, I would take the under.
You're going to a game in the high teens?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see a 2017, 21-17.
Yeah.
I could see something like that for sure. But I'm going to let you go, buddy. I just want to say thank you so much.
Yep.
And thank you for the support on the channel, buddy. Give me your final score prediction.
Final score probably 2017, 2016, somewhere around there.
Giants?
Yeah.
Love it. All right,
See you
my
next-
man. Thank you for calling in, buddy. And Raymond says, fans finally willing to admit Hernandez is a bust. I'm not. I don't know about everybody else. There's definitely some Giants fans that are saying that right now. Probably. I am not saying that. I am not ready to call him a bust. But I think he needs to improve. But I actually thought he was playing decent before the virus. What's going on, big Giants fan? Thanks for calling in.
Not much. Yeah, so I'm back.
You're back. What's up, man?
Yeah. So as I was saying about the baby Gronk dude, he's like George Kittle. He doesn't run far, but he's effective. And remember week 14 last year in the Saints game? For the San Francisco 49ers?
You talking about Kittle?
Yeah, when he threw like 3 Saints defenders off of him to put them in field goal range.
Yeah.
I see that with this baby Gronk dude because
you love this baby Gronk.
Yeah. And then Trey Lance too. I see him kind of a Lamar Jackson, but throws more. Cause I see him run. Like I've seen. He runs a bit. I'm just gonna say that.
We'll see. I think we're sticking with Jones. I don't know about you.
I know. I'm not saying that.
Yeah. Well, maybe you think differently. I think we're sticking with Jones. But how long you been watching the Giants? What are you, about 32? How old are you?
10.
Oh, I thought you were about 40. Okay, so you're 10. You've been watching the Giants now for about what, 3 or 4 years?
Yeah. The best part about this was the 2017 wild card.
So how is this the most hype you've been for a game in a long time?
Probably
since you've been watching the team.
Yeah.
Outside of the playoff game.
Yeah.
You think we're getting a win?
The playoff game, I knew we were gonna lose.
You think we're getting a win?
Yeah, I'd say 24 or 21. Or no, actually, I don't. I'll say 16-19. I feel like there's going to be more field goals than there is touchdowns. I feel like both defenses are going to make stands.
I sure hope so, man. I hope it's a close game. I hope we find a way to get a W.
Yeah.
Jared, I didn't actually think he was 40. I was kidding. I was kidding. But big Giants fan, man. I just want to say thank you so much, man, for coming on. I hope the Giants get a win. I got to close it out because I have been on for a while. I want to say thank you so much for all the love and the support that you show my channel.
Yeah, go subscribe.
I appreciate it, my man. Be well. All right, and we got 2 more guys, and then we're gonna close it out. We've got Danny Hunky Chunky. I think that's the name. Danny Hunky Chunky. What's up, Mr. Hunky Chunky?
What's going on?
What's up, my man?
I wanted to talk about a lot of things that I think a lot of people in here aren't talking about, and I think it's talking about how bad the Giants' defense was last season compared to this season.
It's not close.
It's not even close. What Patrick Graham has turned around, and I think it's I think a lot of people are putting it down, talking about the O-line, the wide receivers, Daniel Jones, running game. This defense has kept us in probably, 50% of the games?
We've been in every game outside of the 49er game.
Yeah, besides 49er game, I think the Giants got it right with Joe Judge. I think if you looked at last season, Pat Shurmur, whichever game we would go into, not favorites, like you said, we would lose. We would get blown out. Like it wasn't even close whenever we played a game that was supposed to be better than us.
Last year, I'm going to pull up the schedule now because I was looking at, and Justin Allbach, man, thank you so much, man, for becoming a member. I really appreciate that. Stand up, new member. I'm going to give you the scores right now last year because I was actually looking at this the other day, and I said, oh, my God, we really did not compete at all against good football teams last year. And to me, that's the primary difference is against good football teams, we're staying in these games. And, and I agree with you. It has almost all to do with the coaching staff and the defense. Last year, we played the Cowboys week 1. They were a decent team. I think they went 8-8. We lost 35-17, so we lost by 18 points. Then we played the Bills. We lost 28-14. We lost by 14. We won the Bucs game. They missed 3 field goals, but we won the game. We then beat Washington. Yeah, we then beat Washington, which we always beat them. Then we played Minnesota. We lost by 18, 28-10. Then we played New England. We lost by 21, 35-14. Then we played Arizona, who they weren't a very good team. They were picking at the top of the draft. We lost by 6. Then we lost by 5 again to a team that was actually picking ahead of us, the Detroit Lions. They were picking 3rd. Then we played Dallas, another pretty good team. We lost by 19, 37-18. Then we lose to the Cowboys by a touchdown, 34-27. We lost the Jets game. They sucked. We lost to the Bears. They sucked by 5. The Packers beat us by 18. The Eagles beat us by 6. That was a competitive game, but I think Eli played that game.
Yeah, Eli played that game.
We beat Miami. We beat Washington. And then the Eagles smoked us. They doubled us up 34-17. So anytime we played a good team last year, we didn't just lose.
Yeah, we got blown out.
We got blown out. And New York Giants fan, thank you very much, man. When you said 40, Chris, I laughed. Let's go Giants. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it, man. But that to me has been the one of the most improved things. We're sticking with good football teams this year. Something we didn't do last year. We weren't even close against good football teams.
Yeah, like when we were playing the Rams or the Buccaneers, I thought we were going into those games. Like I was ready to go to bed at halftime. But staying in those games, like seeing that they're competing for Joe Judge, and I think it's one thing. It shows like if the Miami Dolphins have Brian Flores, Bill Belichick came from Bill Belichick, Joe Judge coming from Bill Belichick, and Flores turned that team around last year. They were what were they, like the worst team in the league, and then they finished at like 5-4.
Well, yeah. They were 0-7. They finished 5-4. Now this year they look like they might win the AFC East.
Honestly,
yeah. And I think we're on a similar timeline. Maybe not as accelerated. Well, here's the thing: Miami had more draft capital because they had better players to trade. I say that all the time, but I actually think we have more talent on this team than Miami had on their team last year. Like if you remember going into the year, and I'm not saying we have a ton of talent, we don't. But Miami, they traded they had no talent. Like people thought they were winning 0 games. So I think it kind of balances out. I do think we could accelerate the process next year, much like they did this year. It's going to come down to Daniel Jones and this offensive line progressing and hitting on some draft picks. But the Giants can be in a much better place next year, I think, than some fans think.
Yeah, I think it's I think a lot of fans need to stop thinking about the draft and they need to focus on week by week and see players improve instead of wanting players to not improve. And I think that the Giants, if they come out and play, I hope they come out and play, and hopefully they win. I think that we have a 50-50 shot at this division because the Eagles play literally the Saints, Seahawks, Packers, and I don't know who else, but they play a hard schedule coming up, and I want to see the Giants make the playoffs. I would love to see a 6-10 Giants team just host the playoff game. I don't care, just want to see us in the playoffs.
I would die to make the playoffs. Are you kidding me? I would die to go 6-10, make the playoffs, and have something to be excited about. At the end of the day, it's still the playoffs, and it's still signs of this team improving. So let's go out there. Let's beat the Eagles tomorrow, man. Give me your final score.
Final score prediction, I want the Giants. Give me the Giants 27-23.
Love it. And New York Giants Zone says this dude really does sound like Daniel Jones. Wait, are you? Is this actually Daniel Jones?
Oh, me? No.
All kidding aside, man, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, for sure.
Enjoy the game tomorrow, and
you too.
let's get a W, my man.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, buddy.
All right, have a good night.
You too, my man. All right, and Kid Blues burner account says, "Is that actually Jones talking?" I think it is. I think it was the Daniel Jones. He just was shy at the end. And I'm gonna get Joe on next. He was just shy at the end. So, but Chris, what's going on, man? Thanks for popping in the stream, buddy. Chris, 3, 2, 1.
Hear me?
I hear you. What's up, Chris?
Hey, what's up, man? Give me 1 second. I plug in my headphones.
Nate says, "How is this still going?" Because I'm a lunatic and I try to give everybody an opportunity to talk, but I'm only taking 2 more. So if you guys are waiting, I'm sorry. I have got to go, and I know more people are just going to come in. But I try to give everybody an opportunity when I do these calls. But go ahead, Chris.
All right, it's no.
You there?
With none of that. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, sorry, it's gonna be an echo. None of my headphones are working for some reason.
It's not. I don't hear an echo right now.
Okay, perfect. I wanted to call in and talk about Leo Williams. I think we should really pay him.
Listen, I think it's trending that way, and I think if Gettleman stays, he's definitely coming back. And he's played well. He's earned a contract. There's no doubt about it. The question is, I worry about once he gets that contract, is he going to be worth it? But he's definitely proven to be worthy of a contract. So I think it's trending that he might be back with the Giants for sure.
Yeah, I think a lot of the issue with that is effort. A lot of guys, when they get paid, they show less effort. I don't think anybody's ever questioned his effort. It's more been he just can't get to the quarterback. He doesn't finish the plays. But now he's been put into a position where he does finish a lot more. And, I'd like to think that he's going to keep giving the effort. And in this game, you want to get guys that get the quarterback on the ground and not guys that stop the run. So I do understand people wanting to pay Dalvin, but he doesn't add in the pass rush at all. So I wouldn't.
Well, that was the book on him last year, was he didn't finish. I think he led all interior defensive linemen in pressures or hits, but he didn't finish. But this year, he's finishing. I also think he fits the scheme very well. I thought that before the year started. He's versatile, and it's paying off. He's played great for the Giants. I think he's going to be back, and we'll see what they do with the rest of their free agency money. But Leonard Williams, there's no doubt about it. You can't deny it. Even last year, you saw the impact he had on the run defense. So he's been one of our 3 most important defensive players. The other 2 are Martinez and Bradbury. And it's a big reason why I think Gettleman's at least trending up right now. You still there, Chris?
Yeah, man. Yeah, thank you. You have a nice day.
You too, man. Thank you so much for calling in. Be well. All right. We're going to get Joe. Joe's a great supporter of mine. I'm glad to be able to get him on the channel. He's been on here before. And then this is going to be the last call. We're going to close it out, man. But Joe, how you been?
Great, entertaining. Thanks for having me on, man. I saw your tweet go out at like 6:30 tonight, maybe earlier, saying that, hey, I'm going to have people on. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to be the first one on. And like, it's been, here I am, and like, you're doing this like 3.5 hours.
Were you waiting the whole time?
No, I was like fooling around. I'm
having
I'm actually listening to you on my 68-inch flat screen that I got last Christmas. So you're on the big screen right now. And if there's any feedback,
how do I look?
Let me know.
How do I look on TV?
Awesome, dude. Almost as handsome as me. Almost.
What's up, man?
No. Hey, listen. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it, and thanks again for, dude. You're getting like bigger than WFAN and ESPN. You're the Giants.
I don't know about that, but
hey, you know what? We have a lot of Giants community YouTubers who are awesome. You and Bad Dog and the Hub and Authentic and a bunch of other guys. But this is awesome, man. I love that. I'm having a hard time getting onto your show.
I love talking to you guys. Whenever I get an opportunity, this is one of my favorite things to do on YouTube. Whenever I get an opportunity, whether it's a Q&A or whether it's having you guys
it's
on.
Awesome, man.
I love talking to you guys.
I appreciate everything that you do, and I'm so it's such a good feeling doing this now as opposed to like 2 years ago when we were like kind of like winding down Eli and we don't know where we're going, and you've got like Olivia Vernon and Snacks and Jenkins, and you've got like these veterans who are like, they're not going to be here when we're good.
Right.
But what is our team going to look like when we are good? And now we're kind of like starting to see it. Nothing is cemented, but we're getting there. And, It feels good. We're 2-7, and it's funny because the NFC East. It's funny. It's like we're all like, whether it's us or the Eagles, the Redskins, or and don't count out the Redskins with Alex Smith, or the Cowboys. We're all like our 2-7 team is better than your 2-7 team. You know, it's like it's ridiculous.
Well, here's the difference between if you're a Cowboys fan or an Eagles fan or a Giants fan, here's the difference. We're not supposed to win this year. We're supposed to be on the come up. And it's why I think if you're a Giants fan, you should feel a lot better about the prospects of your team going forward than those two franchises. The Cowboys went out, they hired McCarthy, who I never liked.
I never wanted. I
never wanted him. And then you're getting reports now that the players hate playing for him. The team's losing. They're banged up. Dak, who knows if he's going to be back.
I don't like when players do that. I don't think it's cool. It's not professional. But I didn't want him as our head coach.
Yeah, no, I don't like it either when the players do it. But it's not a good sign. It's not trending well there. And we all know the future cap situation with the Eagles.
Yep.
The Eagles. I said it last night on Bad Dogs Channel. This game.
Yeah.
All the pressure is on Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not saying this would be a great win. It would definitely be a momentum shifting win. It could be a signature win for Judge's career, for Jones's career. Mm-hmm. If we could get it, it's a win that you look back on going into next year and say, we beat that team, gives you more, confidence going into the following season. But the pressure's squarely on Philadelphia. This is a team that is supposed to be a playoff team this year. The Giants were a team. Yeah. The experts had us winning 2 or 3 games before the year started. We knew what we were. We were a rebuilding team. We're young, and we're expecting progression. But in my opinion, the optimism this year is how close we are to everybody else in this division in a year where I didn't think we were going to be this close yet.
Yep. I agree with you. I mean, Chris, listen, last year, there's a difference between this year and last year. We have more talent, and more importantly, I feel like we have better coaching. But a lot of times we'd be down like 17-0 before you'd blink an eye. And now it's kind of like we're blowing leads as opposed to having to catch up. And I think that's to me that's a big difference. But it's like with the Eagles, like I personally have a lot of respect for the Eagles. I can't stand them because they always beat us. They are to us what we are to the Redskins. But I have a lot of respect for them because they're a tough team. I think Carson Wentz is a good quarterback who was given lemons, and he's trying to make lemonade out of the garbage he was given. But you remember, you look at their D-line, that's what we were 10 years ago. Like, even if our guys were injured, running backs, wide receivers, whoever, we could always count on our D-line to kind of like be a game-changing factor. And that's what the Eagles have. So they're a veteran team, they're a tough-minded team, and they're a proud team. And I always respect that. And I always respect that. They're a good team. But us getting over that hump will be big if we can get over the hump. And I think we have a 50-50 chance of doing it. Listen, like I said, I think we're a talented team when we're young, but they are a veteran team, and they're getting some of their guys back. And me, myself, I'm not so much gauging this year as wins, losses as improvement. And I think we're seeing a lot of improvement. And by the way, I'm totally on board right now, and I have been for the Surtain train.
Yeah.
Patrick Surtain, because originally I agree with, I would say probably most of the fans are like, we need a premier
edge
rusher. Exactly. But you know what? I think we're that close to having a shutdown secondary with Bradbury. And if we were to get Surtain, who's not Okuda, he's not. It doesn't sound like he's Okuda.
Okuda, a lot of people.
Okuda's like, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, no. Earlier in the stream, somebody said it. I don't remember. Somebody said Okuda wasn't that good. Okuda was freaking good coming out. He was really good, and guys, I still think he's going to be really good.
Okuda might not be I haven't been following him. He might not be that great right now, but he is basically like another Darrelle Revis type of prime time. Type of secondary.
He was touted as being one of the best corner prospects to come out in a long time.
Yes, he is. Give him a little time. I would have been happy to have him. He's an island type of prospect. Surtain isn't necessarily that way, but he's supposed to be damn good. My only point is that if we were to, the way we don't seem to be focusing. What I like about Judge and Gettleman is that they seem to be on the same page on how to build a team. Tough-minded, build from the trenches out. And, just kind of like lunch pail type of mentality. but they also focus on secondary too, which obviously Gettleman has put a lot of resources into, whether you agree with his moves or not. And if we were to get Surtain, you've got Surtain and Bradbury, and then you've got Holmes, who's been a very nice fourth
And
round
McKinney
pick.
and Peppers.
McKinney. Hang on a second. You look at the safeties. No, you got to look at the safeties. You got Peppers. We haven't even seen McKinney yet. McKinney is supposed to be Honey Badger or Honey Badger Light, if you will.
Right.
He's supposed to be a monster, a little bit of a monster, if you will. You know?
He's versatile. You can move him around.
Exactly. It's like a Tasmanian devil, if you will.
Yeah.
So we haven't seen him yet. And then you've got Logan Ryan, who's kind of like a wild card. He can
Gotta bring him back. Gotta bring him back.
Bing, 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 bing. Absolutely. You can talk about Leo Williams. You can talk about who's our other guy from the defensive tackle side?
You're talking about on the Giants, defensive
tackle?
tackle?
Dalvin Tomlinson.
Dalvin Tomlinson, okay.
It's been a long night. I'm sorry.
No.
Long
Are
day.
you kidding
Yeah.
me? Thank you for calling in.
No, Dalvin. So we have to decide between Dalvin and Leo. I'm hoping to keep both. But no matter what, I'm keeping Logan Ryan. No matter what. I'm not going to weaken that secondary. My point is that we have the chance to have a really, really killer secondary next year between Bradbury, say Surtain as a hypothetical, and you've got Holmes in the slot, and then you've got Peppers, and you've got McKinney, and then you've got Logan Ryan who can play safety, who can play slot, possibly play outside. He's a wild card.
Yep.
You've got those 6 guys.
And
what
that's
Graham
what
can do with them, and then you can send the other 5 guys going after the quarterback.
That's what this scheme's all about.
Exactly.
This scheme is all about coverage. That's how New England built their defense. I want to say hello to Sugar Touch, by the way, and I appreciate the nice comment that I saw. I pulled up the super chat after. I appreciate the kind words, Sugar Touch, and thank you for being a great member of the channel, great supporter. And I'll get to the super chats in a second, but that's what this scheme has been built on, and it's what New England did. You look at New England, how they spent big time money on the secondary. That's where they spent it. That's where they spent early draft capital. Judge is bringing the same philosophy here. And as old school as Gettleman is, and he's definitely a trenches guy.
He's no dummy.
But like you said, he definitely, he's had some bad luck. Baker went to jail. He's had bad luck. But he's definitely
crappy draft picks too.
He's definitely invested in that secondary. And I expect him to continue to do that. And I think that's the new wave of the NFL. I think that's how teams are building their defenses.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think they're focused, and I'm talking about both Gettleman and Judge. I don't think their focus is, you know how we're all like, we've got to get the next Lawrence Taylor or Strahan or Osi Umenyiora. I think what they're thinking, and it makes sense, is that you build up the 3-man line in the front, with Dexter Lawrence and Dalvin Tomlinson and Leo Williams, and then you've got a kick-ass secondary that a good defensive coordinator is going to create the pressure. We're used to seeing, as Giants fans and as traditional football fans, seeing the pressure coming from either our 4-3 defense like a Strahan or Tuck or OC, or maybe if we're 3-4 like myself. I grew up in the 80s. I'm used to Lawrence Taylor and Carl Banks and those guys and Leonard Marshall on the line. You know what? You've got to shut down secondary. You can send the guys that you want. And I think that's how they're building. And I think Gettleman and Judge are very much on the same page. You've listened to them when they're introductory conferences and interviews on Giants.com. They have very similar philosophies, and people should go and check those out.
You're absolutely right.
Building out.
You're absolutely right. And that's part of the reason why I personally am rooting.
And that's why he brought Leo Williams in.
Absolutely. And that's why I think they do think alike. I think they do work well together. I think it's why we had a strong offseason, and it's why I'm not so much against keeping them together. I want to read a couple of these. Maybe it has something to do with what you said. Raymond, man, thank you so much. I think the Eagles win, but it's a close and ugly game.
I agree.
I could see. I think it could go
Eagles
either
are
way.
Tough, dude.
And they're scrappy. That's the word I always use to describe the Eagles.
They're a tough team. I respect them.
Whenever I think the Eagles are down and out, last year I thought they were down and out going into that Packers game. I think it was a Thursday night game in Lambeau Field.
Yeah.
They were playing horrible.
Dude,
and they beat them.
They lost by a failed 2-point conversion against the Ravens.
Yeah.
And I love
they're a scrappy team. I'm not taking them lightly.
Yeah.
I do think we compete. I do think it's a really close game.
Yeah.
And I think we definitely can win, but I'm not going to say that they're a pushover.
Absolutely. But I'll be listening to your show tomorrow.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to doing it, but I'm looking forward to you being there. Neymar says, I think Giants 19-19 tie. I don't want to tie. I want to beat them. And screw a tie. And KP22 says, I don't like Leonard Williams. He is not worth $18 million. We can't do that. That's going to be the biggest question of the offseason.
Let's see.
In terms of players.
We don't know. Listen, he could be worth it. Everything's so screwed up with COVID, everyone, in terms of, the money that the NFL is taking in terms of a hit, how it's going to hurt their bottom line and how they have to dole out dollars. We just don't know. It's so weird. Everything's so up in the air. Normally, if everything were normal, I'd say that Leonard Williams, I think Leonard Williams is worth it. Whether it's $18 million, I don't know. Give me a percentage of salary cap is more like it. But he's a difference maker, and that's nothing against Dalvin Tomlinson. You'd have to see what Leonard Williams wants to do. I know Dalvin Tomlin wants to be here. Listen, my point is actually, Chris, and I think I've tweeted a few times on whether it's YouTube or Twitter, I'm keeping all three. I'm keeping Leonard Williams, I'm keeping Dalvin Tomlinson, I'm keeping Logan Ryan. I'm finding the money to do it. If I have to,
what about Gallman? You want to keep Gallman too?
I like Gallman, and I never felt like he got a fair shake. Talk about round pegs and square holes. I never felt like Gallman got a fair shake for the past few years, to be honest with you. I like him, and possibly, but it depends what the money is. But I don't know, man. You should be able to find running backs, whether it's a power guy or like a third down, scat type of back, in the fifth, sixth, seventh round. I mean, other teams do it.
I like
Jesus.
Gallman.
Why can't the
I like
Giants?
Gallman. I think Gallman's a really good compliment to Barkley, the way he's ran this year. But I also agree with you. I'm not going to tie up a lot of my cap space to him because, like you said, you could find a running back fourth,
But
fifth,
you know what?
sixth round.
I bet they can keep Gallman and not give all that much money, to be honest with you.
I think you're right. I don't think he's going to cost a ton. I don't think he'll cost a ton.
No. I never felt like he got a fair shake to begin with.
Yeah, I hope he's still in here. Word's a great supporter of mine. Thank you for being a member, and thank you for always being in my streams. Have a good night, buddy. You have a good night. Joe, I'm going to get your final score prediction, and then I'm going to bring on Casper because he's been waiting. I'm too nice of a guy. But, hey, Joe, I'm going to get your final score prediction.
I'm going to be positive. I'm going to say 27-17 Giants. I think they've got things rolling. I think the O-line is going. It's good. They're going to have a hard time running the ball, but I think they're going to make things work. And I think they're going to. I think it'll be 27-17 Giants. It'll be close until the very end, and then Daniel Jones will get the or a running back will get the final score and just kind of like put it out of reach. My original, which I put in your YouTube chat, was the exact opposite because I think, listen, I go with the veteran team. Yeah. That's normally what I do. I go with the veteran team. The Eagles are a good veteran team, but I'm ending on a happy note.
You're going to be optimistic. You're going a little bit of homer mode.
Hey, listen, if they lose, I want everyone to understand that if they lose, I am an optimistic fan anyway. I'm glad we're not where we were 2 years ago when we were like loaded with these huge contracts, veterans who
no identity
whatsoever.
Yeah.
So, but I'm a positive Giants fan. I want everyone to know that. So, want to end on a happy note.
Always love talking to you. Love to have you back on. I always love talking. You definitely bring a positive outlook to a team with a very negative fan base, at least in certain areas. So I always like talking to positive Giants.
We are all going to be so happy just relatively soon. Everyone hang in there. It's going to be an awesome ride. Everyone hang in there.
Can't wait.
Great.
Can't wait to experience with everybody in here, man.
Take care, guys.
All right, Joe. Have a good one, my man. And Casper's been waiting for a while. I know I said Joe was going to be my last caller. I'm going to let Casper close it out because I see he's got the Giants gear on, and I had to have you on. Casper, thank you for tuning in the stream, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
Listen, man, I appreciate you coming on, man. I appreciate you supporting the channel, and you're definitely wearing the right colors.
Thank you. So I want to talk about two really quick things. I want to talk about how the Giants can use Daniel Jones during the Eagles game tomorrow, and also how we can use our defensive line in different ways, and basically our whole defense. So I'm going to start off with Daniel Jones. He makes mistakes. They have to now for Daniel Jones. He makes the same mistake 2 or 3 times a game, and that's what kills us. It's 2 or 3 times. It's not like we're
It's not like we're getting blown out every game. It's 1 or 2 plays that kills us. And Daniel Jones is making, not all the time, but he's making those mistakes. So if he can fix those mistakes, and we could be winning those games. And
Listen. You hit that on the head. I mean, that's why I want Jones to be a bit more of a game manager, and it's what a bunch of my closers said tonight. It's 1 play here, it's 2 plays here, it's 3 plays here. That's what's determining these games. And if Jones cuts down, see what Coward said the other day. If Jones cuts down by even 1 turnover a game, the Giants are winning a lot more games than they're losing.
Yeah, and here's the thing. This is what's going to make us this is what's getting me worried about tomorrow's game. We have to take pressure off Daniel Jones a lot. He's throwing almost 40 passes a game, I believe so. So if we could cut that down, maybe even half, run the ball to Wingardman, because we saw what he did in week 7. He had 147 yards.
You sound like me. You need a YouTube channel. You sound like me. I'm all about running the football.
But here's the thing. The Eagles' D-line is good. It's very good. Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, all those guys. And the Eagles have a very good defense, but their defensive line, or their secondary is not nearly as good as their defensive line. So if we could, once in a while, Daniel Jones makes the right read, throw the ball deep, wide open, Darius Lane, touchdowns, open hole, Daniel Jones shouldn't just trip 10 yards before the end zone, but hopefully he can run. But yeah, so now on the defense, I like Leo, Dalvin Tomlinson, Dexter Lawrence, but we could obviously keep Dalvin Tomlinson if he's not asking for a lot of money, but if he is, we can really just trade him away, release him, and we could, because we've seen Dexter Lawrence roll and where Dalvin Tomlinson plays, that defensive tackle spot. He could play there. And we have, our outside linebackers, they're not good, but they have depth. So if we take, I don't know, we can't do that. Maybe Jabal Sheard, that guy that we just brought in. We haven't used
Jabal Sheard really.
Yeah, he only played 1 game. So
now let me ask you about Jones, because you brought up Jones, and you talked about the tripping against the Philadelphia Eagles. I think a big strength to this Philadelphia Eagles defense is the interior defensive line. Yeah. I think we need to use Daniel Jones more in that capacity. They kind of got away from that the last 2 weeks. I want to see a lot more RPOs in this game. Let Jones get the legs going.
Oh yeah.
Make plays with the legs.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think of Jones? Do you believe in Jones? You think he can be the guy?
Give him a year. We'll see if he does. If he throws more like Daniel Jones, we have to give him a year because he plays good in 1 game, bad in another game. So it's hard to tell if he's a franchise guy. So we wait this year. We win 4 or 5 games, maybe come out next year. Well, if we have a top draft pick, 2 or 3, we could pick up a quarterback. But if we don't, we pick up a receiver for him. Wait to pan out. If we win 8, 9 games next year, keep him. But if we what happened this year, get rid of him. That's what I think.
All right. So you want to give him another year, see what happens, and then you take it from there. Yeah. What do you think of Judge?
Judge, I think he's a good coach, but we have a good team on paper. It's just the team on paper doesn't come out. I don't know how to say it. It's like they don't play to their, like they don't play how it shows on paper. They're very good, but they don't play to that. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Joe Judge, I think he's a very good coach. It's just that we're losing. That's why people think he's a bad coach. But I think he's a very good coach. He makes good calls. Sorry. Yeah. So
you do. Yeah. By the way, you're doing a great job. I appreciate you calling in. I'm glad that I took. What is that your name? Is your name Casper?
Yep.
I like the name. What made you become a New York Giants fan, Casper?
I I really don't know. They stuck to me.
One day you just woke up, you said, I'm going to be a Giants fan.
I guess so.
Well, hopefully they get a lot better for you. Are you a Yankee fan or a Met fan?
I don't watch baseball.
So what do you watch?
I watch football. Once in a while, maybe watch a soccer game, but if I watch baseball, Yankees. It's Yankees.
Okay. All right. Well,
And
hopefully. Go ahead.
Yeah, the score prediction for the game is the Giants winning 31-23.
31-20. I like that. I could see that. I could see by about a touchdown. I got a little closer. I got about 24-21. But as long as they get a win at the end of the day, right? Just get a W. Because how old are you, Casper?
I'm 10 years old.
So you probably you don't remember the Giants ever beating the Eagles.
Nope.
So this will be your first experience of the Giants beating the Eagles if they could do it. They're gonna do it tomorrow, Casper. And when they do it, I'm gonna call your name out in the stream when we get that W. So, okay. Casper, I want to say thank you so much for tuning in the stream, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you for thanking me, and I appreciate all the support. And let's get that win tomorrow, man.
Yep.
All right, buddy. Be well.
Have a good night.
You too, my man. All right, guys. That was Casper. I thought he did a great job. I appreciate everybody for tuning in this stream. Hopefully you guys come back tomorrow. We enjoy this game against the Philadelphia Eagles. I always have a lot of fun time getting an opportunity to get to talk to all you guys, getting to talk Giants football. I had an absolute blast tonight. I appreciate all the support you guys always show me, whether it's a video, whether it's a live stream, whatever it may be. And hopefully tomorrow we get to celebrate a New York Giants win. I had an absolute blast getting to talk to everybody tonight, though, guys. I can't wait for tomorrow. Let's get a win. I got it, New York Giants 21. You know what? 24-21 Giants. I got the Giants by a field goal. We'll see what happens. I had it 23-20 last time. We lost 22-21. It's going to be a close game. Let's get some of the bounces. Let's get out of there with a win. Thank you to everybody for being here. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And as always, if you liked what you watched, please subscribe. Drop a comment. Maybe give me a little thumbs up. Cheers.